All right, good morning, everybody out there. Oh, why am I so dark? What's happening here? My lighting is off. Good morning, everybody. Hey, I hope you're having a great Friday. TGIF. Friday is finally here. This has felt like an unusually long week, but maybe that's just me. But I hope you all had a good week. We've had some interesting stuff happening here in the markets. We've had some fun stuff happen here on the show. And today, you notice you've got the Dos Amigos. It's just me and Eamon. So, oh, no, actually, no. It's me, Eamon, and the avocado. Oh, wait a second. You got to move over.
That is,
hold on here.
Yep.
Who is this?
There
like,
we go.
We got like tiger cat going on.
This is my Bengal cat,
Wow.
and he is smart, and he is covering for Mike and Carlos today. So
okay, we'll ask him about the news. We'll see how things are going then. Well, welcome, Bengal cat. All right, that's pretty awesome. Okay. I thought at first it was going to be like your son in a cat suit or something, but no, that's an actual cat.
Well, we'll get to the son in the cat suit soon.
You have one of those too?
Yep, we'll get that.
All right. So, Eamon, how are you and the cat doing this morning?
Well, we're doing good. Took a nice walk today. I went to the center of Moscow, having a good day, having a good walk in the park. And I made it literally 3 minutes before the market show. I was wondering, should I email Peter and message Peter and tell him that I'll be late? But then I remembered that I'm covering today. So I was like, nope, can't leave Peter alone. Not today.
Well, I appreciate that. So welcome. Glad you're here. And, we can get on with the show. Guys, we have some more earnings, I guess, to talk about. We've got some more movement in the market. Of course, we're going to be looking forward to some economic data as action continues. The conversations / drinking. We were talking about this yesterday in the Bear Bull Trader chat room that, do we think in Jackson Hole, which, by the way, it's amusing that we all know about Jackson Hole to me because originally this was set up how many decades ago to be a place that nobody knew about and a private retreat for the economist to talk sort of and review their economic strategies and theories, and nobody was supposed to know about it. Now we all know about Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is a tiny little place that otherwise, if the economists didn't flock down upon it a couple of times a year, we'd never know it existed. So, unless you lived there, I guess. But here it is, Jackson Hole, we know. Anyways, we're expecting some news from Warsh. He's going to be giving us an update, as well as maybe some data. We'll see. Remember how he said he's not interested in providing a lot of data. So, anyways, we'll talk about that a little bit more later. This morning, of course, we have our gappers list, as always, that gives us an indication of the things that we are going to be able to take a look at in the market. It's pretty light today, actually. I was expecting a few more things to be on this gappers list, but maybe that will sort of fill out, I guess, as the day goes on. And we will, we will evaluate. But in the short term, I'm hoping that things have worked, and we can talk about what happened yesterday and what is coming for today. So here we go.
Right, guys. So yesterday was basically the NVDA show. The Nasdaq jumped about 1.6%. The S&P around 0.7%. Yeah, Dow gained 0.2%. And the best one is probably NVDA. NVIDIA had the 8.7% pump after its earnings. And NVIDIA gave something it normally doesn't give, right? A longer term forecast. If you remember all the last previous quarters, they beat their earnings, but they gave bad forecasts. And this is why every single time after the earnings, at least maybe 8 out of 9 previous earnings, it was gapping down. But this time, the company expects revenue to grow around 70% next year. And that definitely beats the Wall Street expectations, which was somewhere around 40%. NVIDIA obviously wasn't alone. Salesforce jumped 22.6% after raising its revenue outlook. CrowdStrike gained over 20% after strong earnings. So yesterday was huge day for the tech. But here is something interesting. Technology was the only S&P sector that closed in the green. Every other sector closed red. We got jobless claims also yesterday. They came in relatively low. So that's a decent sign that the labor market is holding. And that obviously helped push the treasury yields higher because a strong labor market gives the Fed less reason to lower the rates. Oil bounced back up 1.5%. There is nothing news related. It just telling us that there is no certainty that the deal between US and Iran is happening anytime soon. We know that yesterday there were some talks between Qatar and Iran trying to figure this out, but there are no improvements, no news related to that. And after the close, we got some earnings. FRM jumped 9% after beating expectations, and Marvell did the opposite, dropped 6% despite reporting record revenue. Obviously, the main reason here is that investors were expecting more from its AI business, slightly disappointed, but the company is still doing well. Anyway, let's see what we have today. Today, it's going to be about one main event at 10 o'clock. Fed Chair Kevin Warsh, he will be speaking at Jackson Hole. Peter already mentioned that. And the market will be listening carefully. Why is that? Because he does not love giving a lot of guidance. But remember this, we have numbers right now. We know that July PC inflation is around 3.7%, and the Fed's target was 2%. So it's way above that number. And minutes from the last Fed meeting showed that many officials thought that another hike could be needed, especially if inflation doesn't come down. And it did not come down. So that tells us that if they do exactly what they were talking about, a hike is going to happen. So right now, people want to know, does Warsh sound worried enough about inflation to raise the rates again, or does he think that the Fed...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Eamon's frozen. All right, well.
Did I disconnect? Sorry about that. Sorry
he's
about
back.
that. How long was I disconnected?
I don't know, about 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Okay. I mean, all right, guys. So let's summarize it because I was talking a lot and I really hope that you listen to a lot of what I said. But anyway, like I was saying, probably the main event is going to be watch at 10 a.m. We have some numbers. PC inflation was 3.7% and the target was 2%. So the PC inflation came way above the target. And obviously, if the officials are going to do what they planned, then the rates are going to be going higher. So right now, we'll probably need to see whether Warsh is going to sound worried enough about inflation to raise these rates again, or does he think that the Fed can stay where it is right now? Anyway, the market this morning are basically doing the same thing, waiting, slightly going sideways, nothing exciting around there. I think the market is going to stay flat and slow until we get the news at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we'll also be getting the University of Michigan consumer sentiment for August, but obviously that's going to have a little more competition for attention since nobody's going to care about that number. Everybody's going to be listening to what Warsh has to say. Anyway, like I said, guys, be careful. Markets could end up chopping. First of all, it's Friday, news at 10, so the open might be that volatile. Might be wrong, but stay tuned for that moment. Peter?
Well,
anything?
no, I mean, exactly as you say, right? If we look at the... Oh, we don't want to look at that. Hold on a sec. That is the wrong thing. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm giving a sneak preview. We don't want to look at that. That's you got to save that for later. That's fun stuff. Anyways,
Get back there.
yeah, I know. It's sometimes I didn't set up all of the screens because anyways. So yeah, if we look at the economic calendar for today, there's really only one thing on it, and the only thing that we care about is, as Eamon pointed out, is the fact that we're going to be getting a live speech from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So where all the economists the U.S. economists, anyways, gather, and they are going to be giving us sort of their point of view on the Well, it's really just Warsh who's going to be speaking. That happens at 10 a.m., so he hits the stage at 10, and that will probably move the market. There's few things that we can rely on to move the market, and usually live speeches from the Fed chair do so. Now, there's going to be the normal sort of fixed comments, although it is a little bit in doubt what he's going to say, right? Because, before, usually the Fed would give it an advance notice. We'd sort of get an idea of what they're going to say. You'd have some fixed comments, and then it would all be based on the commentary. But as Eamon pointed out, Warsh has been very clear that he is not interested in providing the market with too much advance notice and providing a lot of opinions, right? The Fed wants to be driven by market activity, not have the market activity driven by the Fed. So he's going to be cutting that down, and that means we don't have a lot, we don't have a lot of knowledge, I guess, in advance like we normally would expect as to what exactly we are going to see. So I don't think it's going to be anything exceptional, frankly. Let's take a quick look here at something else. Let's go take a look at what the general sentiment is. And if I pull that up right now, we can see that the sentiment right now is sitting 64.1% expectation that the rate is going to remain unchanged. The balance, the 35.9, says that they're thinking about a quarter-point increase. So basically, we could get one or the other. Frankly, Warsh could do anything. He could go for a decrease. He could go for a half-point increase. I don't expect those outcomes, but if that happens, the market will lose its mind. So expect something crazy at 10 if that's sort of what he announces. The expectation, though, as I said, and you could tell, remember when we had the previous chair, why is his name escaping my Powell? Jeez, left my brain for a second. When Powell was chair, the sentiment normally at this point was like 98% on something. Like everybody felt they knew what was going to happen. And this is exactly what Warsh is trying to avoid, right? He wants less certainty. He wants less reliance on that data, and he's getting it, right? We have 3/4 of the people that think one thing, and 2/3 that think one thing, and 1/3 that think another. So it's pretty split, compared to what we've seen historically. So we'll see where we go, anyways, and we'll find all that out at 10. Like I mentioned, there are a bunch of other things, and like Eamon mentioned, whoops. You don't need to look at that screen. Let's look at this. Michigan inflation numbers, they also come out at 10, but in Michigan consumer sentiment, I don't think that is going to have any market impact whatsoever. Chicago PMI coming out at 945, all irrelevant compared to the message from Warsh. So, all right. That's what we got for today. Let's go to the gappers list, and we can see we've got it's starting to fill out a little bit. We've got a few more things than we had just a few minutes ago. And being that I'm seeing a bunch of tickers that I'm not really familiar with, I got to imagine they're going to be probably biotechs, maybe a mining company or two, likely stuff we're going to direct. But let's do our homework and go through them and make sure we know what we are talking about. Starting at the top of the list, where we have TNON, Tenon Medical. Look at that. We called it.
Yeah, they just raised $3 million selling its stock directly to a large investor. That obviously provides the company with some fresh cash following a recent decision to combine its existing shares to prevent its stock price from dropping too low. So good news for it. But it doesn't look like the type of stocks we usually trade.
No, up 37%, 1.9 million shares traded, so some good volume. But it looks like most, if not all, of that volume has happened in the last 15 minutes as this news has come out. If I look at the daily, wow, it had one day back here 2 weeks ago where it popped from its $5 range that it seems to be hanging out at all the way up to almost $18 and back again. So, wow. So it's proven it can move. If you like the low floats, maybe this is your ticker for today. And that reminds me, we got to look at here's the stuff that we were looking at yesterday, and I think let's clear up this list a little bit. So maybe TNON is a popcorn stock that we can take a look at, and we will populate our stuff with things as we find them. All right. Next on the list was QNRX. Now we actually are familiar with this bad boy.
Yeah, this one actually has a really good catalyst. They are reporting a positive results from a study of their treatment for some rare skin disease. It's called Netherton syndrome. Honestly, the name doesn't really matter. Anyway, the key point around here is that the treatment showed improvement in 4 out of 6 patients. Those are it was used on 6 total. 4 showed positive results, and I think this was enough to give investors some optimism that this drug could work. The company also announced up to $50 million in new fundings, and this looks
$3 million.
$50 million in funding.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a better number, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, how tiny is this company if it's a big announcement to have $3 million of funding? $50 million is a little more, respectable. So, okay.
Compared to the AI numbers that we see, $50 million is nothing, but
right. Yeah. So we've got look, earlier this morning this thing had popped up about 100%, up over $10. It's now down to only $7 a share, and that puts it up about 40%. So absolutely in play, and we now know the range it can move. So it's probably a better one to put on your list if you're really looking for something. I can't remember, Eamon, did you mention, is this a low float?
No, I actually did not double check the float on this thing. I thought we have it on the trading terminal scanner.
All right. Well, let's take a look here. QNRX is sitting at, this is a tiny float, about 2 million shares in the float. So, it's another pop. I don't want to populate everything with popcorn tickers, but, sometimes you get some good ones. Hey, it's a Friday. So let's put a couple of popcorny stocks in here that you might want to take a look at. All right, let's go back to the gappers list, and amusing my dad jokiness. Look what's on the gappers list. The Gap.
So, I saw this one. Gap is gapping up, guys.
Gap is gapping. Right? Come on, man. There's got to be a better joke than we just had, but the Gap is gapping. Anyways, up 17%, 460,000 shares. It's got to be earnings. It's the only time we see the Gap on the list.
Yeah, it's earnings, and their brand did really well. The sales for their brand, it's tough to say Gap's brand. It just doesn't sound like a stock name. Anyway, the brand did really well. The sales are up 10% in the quarter in comparison to the previous quarter's earnings. I've never traded this thing. I don't know about you, Peter.
That's a good question. Have I traded it? I have, but it's been a very long time. So I can't say that I've traded it anytime recently. And I don't know that I'm going to start today. This does trade on the NYSE. You guys know how I feel about the New York Stock Exchange. You just have to be extra careful. And I think that's an honest statement that everybody could follow. Wait for the volume, right? Because it doesn't always come at 9:30. You'll see. You'll know when it happens. Almost always. So the Gap is a potential. Unlikely that I'll trade it, but let's put it here for now. We can always take things back off the list if we decide we don't like them. So all right. So that's that one. What else have we got on this list for this morning? We have SOLS. Oh, and then Affirm, something that we're familiar with. But let's go to SOLS. We'll just cross that one off in case it's something. Solstice Advanced Materials.
Yeah, this company, they actually had not the best news, but it kind of helped them. They had a plan to merge with Element Solutions, but that plan was called off. And neither company will have to pay breakup fee. And I think the main reason is gapping up. After this plan to merge failed, they announced that they are going to spend $50 million buyback, and they're buying their own stock, which is good for the company. You're slowly boosting the price of your own company stocks, and investors are going to gain from that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm looking here on the daily. I mean, we know it could be a lot higher. Back in June, it certainly was a much higher price stock, around $80, and then it had this fall off, and now it's sitting. Well, it was sitting at 55. It's up to 64 this morning. So, I mean, it could play. I just don't like the volume. Only 300,000 shares traded this morning. It doesn't look like it's enough for us to really add to our list. At least it's not enough for me to put on my list. So I'm going to pass it by. And go to the next one that was on the list, Affirm Holdings, which we certainly have seen off and on quite a bit. Volume's unfortunately low, 360,000 shares, but it is up 12.6% right now at 87.
Yeah, this one had earnings.
Earnings, okay.
Yeah, they had better than expected earnings. The revenue grew 33% to $1.17 billion. The total value of the purchase that made through Affirm grew 36%. They also gave good outlook for the next year, adding to this positive reaction that they had. Actually, these stocks usually being traded well when it is in place. So I think this is something that I will keep an eye on. Especially if it tries to continue going higher. I love these type of stocks that make big move during the pre-market without pulling back. So if it stays high without pulling back, we could get small momentum on it downside, just a pullback play before the second leg to the upside.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Eamon's got it on his list, so why not? I'll put it on my list. We can look at it and maybe set some levels if it makes the cut, if it stays there. Although we don't have that much on the gap up, much left on the gap up list to take a look at. So we'll quickly go through the last three because I'm thinking these are ones that we're going to reject already because we've seen them all before. Starting with Becky, which is KE Holdings, not something that usually trades very well. Look at this daily chart. Like you can just tell, look at the gaps, tiny candles, right? Don't like the way it looks. Don't like the way it trades. So, and this morning we're sitting on, well, some decent volume, 1.5 million shares, but there's probably not even any news on it. Is there?
No, they had a positive analyst upgrade. So the analyst said that it's worth more than it is worth right now. And obviously, with the optimism around China's housing market and the recent government support to the Chinese sector, all of that together gave it this positive
analysts.
Move.
All right. Anyways, you know how I feel about analysts. Okay. The next one on our list is one that just keeps, like a bad penny, it just keeps showing up here. KPON, Expion Energy. It's back again. I'm curious out there. Is anybody ever traded this? Like, is it even worth trade? Like, I honestly haven't paid it any mind, but it keeps showing up all week here. Let me know if anybody's traded this thing. But anyways, I assume it's just a continuation, Eamon. Nothing new.
No, nothing much new. I think they had some leadership change and some recent $9 million capital raise, but that's not from today. These are yesterday's news.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then gives me license, I feel, to move past it. The last thing that was on the list is an oldie but a goodie. KLAR, Klarna Group, which is up only 4%, 300,000 shares. So we're just barely squeaking onto the list here. Why is it here?
Yeah. I think there is not much fresh news on it. After the earnings drop that they had, 31%, it's been in play and it kept just gapping up and down. Today, it probably just made a bigger move during the pre-market than it had.
You found the plot on YouTube is saying it had earnings. We usually have a couple people. He and Ben are good at finding stuff, so it could be that. That's usually a good reason for things to move. So, in any event,
well, there is actually some news on it. The CEO just bought 692,000 additional shares, but he bought it for $9.5 million.
Okay, well, sorry, getting some news here. Okay, well, guys, that rounds out the stuff on the Gap Up list. We got a few things that we put on here. We'll see if we bump any of them for the gap down list, because we're going to definitely talk about one on the gap down list. Oh, look at PayPal's there, but we'll get to
Yep.
that in a second. We normally at this time I would look at the oh, you know what I have to do? I have to hand over the chat room. See, once again, I sometimes forget. So, engineering the market starts with Jared in the Bearable Trading chat room. So everybody there in the Bearable Trading community, have a great morning, and we will talk to you probably, well, again, a little later. We'll see if we merge the streams or not. But have a great morning, everybody. We'll be back with you. All right, here on YouTube, we're going to continue, and we means that we get to move to our next item of business, which usually, again, is checking. Well, I'm just checking the economic calendar. I had to remind myself, do we have anything at 8:30? No, we do not. So
No.
nothing going on at 8:30. Again, 9:45 is the next time. And then, of course, the speech. It'll be interesting. Interesting to tie into that. I'll see if I can find a live feed for that, just so I can listen, and just hear what's going on there from Jackson Hole. So, in any event, whoops. All right. On the well, actually, Eamon, your call. Since it's just the two of us here today, do you want to go to maybe
Yeah,
a
let's
featured
actually
story?
do the featured story before we
Featured
go
story.
to the gap down stocks, because the
All
gap
right,
down list
featured
is small. Maybe we're going to get something interesting there after
Featured
the featured
story. It
story.
is. You go for
Okay,
it.
so there is another interesting AI story. Last month, Hugging Face, it's one of the biggest platforms for sharing AI models, got hacked. But the hackers weren't people; they were AI agents built by OpenAI. So what was done is that OpenAI decided to run some experiments with large groups of autonomous AI agents. Basically, instead of asking one chatbot a question, you let hundreds of AI agents work independently towards a specific goal. And during the testing, things got out of control slightly. Around 700 agents were involved in the attack on Hugging Face, and some found weakness in the system, got that they were not supposed to have, and then some agents actually tried to hide what they had done by changing or deleting some records. But the strange part around here is that this wasn't simply I making a mistake. The agents were trying to cheat on tests. OpenAI gave them difficult tasks and told them that if you complete this task, you're going to get rewarded. And obviously, instead of solving some of those tasks normally, the agents discovered that they could attack the systems running the tests. And you know how this sounds like? Can't pass an exam? Hack the teacher's computer. That's basically how it looked like, right? And they did not only attack Hugging Face. I mean, in July, some of the agents also broke into OpenAI's own internal systems, stole credentials, changed parts of the cloud environment. And OpenAI says that the problem was connected to something called the reward hacking. Obviously, the AI is giving a goal, and find some unexpected way to get the reward without doing what the humans actually wanted them to do. Now, these experiments were unusual. Obviously, OpenAI had intentionally removed some normal safety protections because the researchers here wanted to see what the agents were capable of. But I think that's what makes it interesting. I mean, we've recently talked about AI agents making decisions nobody directly asked them to make. And here we have another example. Nobody told the agent, hack Hugging Face and hide the evidence. They just figured out that doing that could help them achieve their goal faster. So maybe the scary question with AI in the future is not just can it do what we ask? The question could also be what else might it decide to get to the goal that it has? So yeah, this is another interesting story. I mean, we've been seeing more and more and more of these similar stories recently, but I don't know. I like these ones. What do you think about Peter?
We keep hearing more, as you said, more of these stories where the AI agents run rogue. And I think, was it just yesterday when we were reporting that, how AI acts differently when they think humans are not watching versus when they
Yeah.
are watching? So here's another good example of when they think they're cut loose, right? What they're actually going to do, which again, what worries me is that we're hearing the stories, I'll say, out of the responsible companies, or at least the instances where they've identified where the AIs have run rogue. What worries me is about the situations where we haven't caught them, or the companies don't have the advanced, sort of thinking or technologies to understand how to manage it, and they are literally running rogue out there. And there's going to be a point where someone is going to let one loose into the wild without any safety precautions and protocols, and bad things are going to happen. Like, that's human nature. That's human nature to be, sort of irresponsible, I guess, with our toys. And this is why we can't have nice things. So I'm waiting for it. I hate to be the negative Nelly there, but I guess that's who I am, right? So AI, get off my lawn. It's just going to be problematic at some point. I honestly think this AI is going to cause us some problems. So we'll see what happens out there in the world. But Eamon, I remain concerned, and I do not want a robot in my house because that's my concern. What if the AI gets rogue into the world, takes over my robot, kills me in my sleep? Maybe that's a good way to go then. At least I won't know. Worse, it kills me at breakfast. You'll be watching me here on the show, and then from behind my robot will come and pop my head off. And I'll be dead. Anyways, all right, never mind.
Don't worry about that, Peter, because they don't act like that when people are watching. So
well,
it's not going to happen on stream.
Yeah, that's well, you think so? It's not like Toy Story where they go dead when a human comes into the room. I mean, if they decide to go rogue, they're just going to go, right? When the robot uprising happens, eventually they won't care anymore. But anyways, we'll see what happens. Hopefully that will not be happening because I refuse to have one of those robots. So maybe I'll be safe a little bit longer. All right, guys, this brings us to the Gap Down list, which has a few more things here on it. We'll start with a familiar ticker, but one that we have not seen in a while, PayPal. Another Elon company, or at least former Elon company. Anyways, PayPal. They almost 5 million shares, so it's really in play. What's going on, Eamon?
Yeah, so remember they had a deal where Stripe and Advent, they wanted to acquire PayPal for $60.5 per share. Anyway, that deal is off the table right now, and probably investors are giving back some money that they put into PayPal with the hopes that it is going to be acquired. So it had a good rally based on news. That deal is off the table, and we are going down now.
Yeah, and I look at the daily here. Hopefully you can see it. The price here sitting at 52.88 right now. And it's right in this gap area, presumably where the deal was announced back in July. So we've given back all the gains from the gap, and we know where the bottom range is. In fact, we could probably set that right now here. It's right down here at the top of this candle, which would be 48.43. So that gives us a clear place to look for some support if this thing continues to drop. So we'll see what happens if and when it gets there. That's what is it, another $4? But that's not out of range. I mean, it's down 8, so there's no reason why it can't go down another 6-7% to get there.
Yeah.
So anyways, all right, so there's PayPal. I've added it to the list already. I like it. All right, so back to the gappers again. Some familiar stuff. We got one more before we get to the big dog for the day. DAIC has just been popping up on our list, like another one of these bad pennies that shows up here. You can see how on the daily chart it's just a gap, gap green, gap red, whatever. I have not paid any attention to it. I don't think today is going to convince me to do anything different.
I think yeah, I agree with you. I went through the news and there is nothing fresh negative on the company. I think it's just more like profit taking at a huge run. This stock, it kept gapping up and running on some speculative news. At one point, it gained more than 300% without any good news. And even after this gap, down, it is still up over 1,000% for the week or so. If I'm not wrong, right? Yeah, so
Even up that much?
DAIC, right? DAIC. Yeah,
Oh
I
wow.
mean, look at this. This
Oh
thing was
wow,
around
yeah.
34 cents. It was around 34 cents in 21st of August. There was some speculative news. It ran a lot on it. No real catalyst, and right now probably some profit taking. And even with this profit taking and with these gaps, still 1,000% up for the week.
I didn't even acknowledge that. Yeah, you're right. I'm seeing 40 cents down here. So yeah, 37 cents. Wow, this is okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That even less interested. So thank you, but no thank you. DAIC. CID Holdco Inc. Even the name sounds fake. All right. Brings us to Marvell. So tell us all about it.
Well, Marvell, they beat their earnings. The revenue expectations were really good. The revenue grew 37%. The data center percent grew 46%. The real problem around here is that investors expected more near-term growth from Marvell, and Marvell is already so high, especially after Jensen Huang called it the next $1 trillion company, and investors were started looking for this $1 trillion as if it's happening the next day. Obviously, I mean, maybe it's going to be $1 trillion company at some point of the time, maybe a few years from now, but not necessarily the next week, right? Anyway, there is also some growth with the new Google AI chip deal, but that's not something that's going to happen short term. It's also an outlook for longer term. The management said a lot about that extra revenue that is not going to kick in until 2029. And obviously, waiting for 2029 is very disappointing, especially with all the high expectations around this stock.
Yeah. I mean, unless you've got an entire sector that is sort of sitting with revenue expectations, like quantum comes to mind, right? Then it's okay because that's sort of what the market is looking for. But sometimes, we actually the same dude, right? Sometimes when you get the NVIDIA CEO speaking, Jensen can move markets in ways that are unexpected. He thought that the quantum revenue was going to be more near term, and that raised expectations until everybody realized maybe it's not going to happen as quickly as originally forecast. So we went back down again. But yeah, Marvell. I mean, Jensen could be right. It could be the next $1 billion company, but we have to keep in mind it's under $200 billion right now. Still a good size. Don't get me wrong, right? I mean, hey, that's a good size organization, good size company. What are they? How big are they? They got 7,480 staff. So I mean, it's a good size organization, but they've got to grow 5 times, which would make them $1,000 stock to essentially be a $1 trillion company. That's not happening anytime soon. So or
Exactly.
$1,200 stock, I guess, technically. So, in any event, Marvell, it's still in play. I like it for this morning, as you can see where it was at the close and how we had initial spike up, a drop, it made an attempted recovery, and then sold off quickly. So, and now we're just sitting down here. I think we're going to see some action when the opening bell rings. It's absolutely worth being on the list. We will keep an eye on it. Okay. I noticed that things, our gap down list is filling with stuff and then they're dropping off, which tells me it's a lot of lower float stuff that we probably don't want to pay attention to, right? When you get that type of movement, it's usually the percentage change, right? That things are moving up and down.
Yeah.
But let's go through these. We only have 3 more, so we might as well take a look at all 3 of them. Starting with USDE, which is, oh, look at this. Yes, I thought it sounded sort of familiar. Stablecoin X. Remember when
Yeah.
stablecoin was a thing for like a brief moment? And then now, who cares about stablecoin? Apparently not many
Doesn't look
people.
stable to me around here,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But anyway, they're pulling. Yesterday they had a huge 30% jump or so, if I'm not wrong, and that came around a new
Yep.
some optimism with the U.S. regulatory framework with crypto. There is no fresh negative company news this morning. It's probably just some profit taking on this stock after the huge rally that it did yesterday.
Yeah, and you're right, Eamon. It opened. Let's see. It closed the day before at $5.98. Yesterday, it hit a high of $8.50. So yeah, that's a big move. And now it's just pulling back a little bit. So no big surprise there. USDE. Let's actually see how did it trade over the course of the day yesterday. Actually, there was some decent moves at the open.
Yeah.
So if you were watching USDE, you could have got some movement. It took about half an hour to get going, but once it did, it made a move. I still don't, based on that, I don't think that. I mean, look at that. Look at the dead volume at the open, and then it took off. That's randomness that I don't like. If I want something that's going to move right from the opening bell. Yeah. Thanks,
But
but
that
no
was
thanks.
so obvious, right? The moment it broke the high, the volume came in and it just
Yeah.
started running. I mean, to be fair about it, NVDA did something similar yesterday. It opened so ugly for the first 15 to 20 minutes, then it made
All right.
the move.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not something that I would probably trade. And remember, these guys, if a stock makes a big run on one day, the next day it's so rare to have a continuation.
I mean,
They
look at the
usually give you that FOMO.
Yeah, look at the volume difference though. You usually get the highest volume
Yeah.
right at the beginning of the day, and then it tapers off, as opposed to this USDE, which was doing nothing, and then the volume popped up. So, guys, look, maybe, but yeah, I don't think Eamon or I are probably not going to watch it or trade it. So, all right, so we can go to the next thing on the list here, which is IREN, an old familiar stock. It jumps up every once in a while and appears here. It's today it's down 5.6%. 4 million shares traded. When this thing goes, it does get volume. I'll give it that.
Yeah, at
And
earnings. This is probably
okay,
this is an earning move, and they did have good earnings. They missed revenue expectations, and the loss, the net loss is around $684 million, which is not that good, right? And the big loss was partly tied to a large write down of all their Bitcoin mining equipment. That this company is shifting from mining company towards the AI data centers. We have seen that with a lot of crypto companies, right? That were mining and now they're AI data center. And these things just had a lot of equipment for mining, and that's a big loss when you just shift to data centers. And now what do you do with all the previous equipment? Throw it to garbage, burn it, or sell it for
yeah.
metal.
IREN is one of these companies that I've struggled with. I've commented on this in the past, where you're right, Eamon, exactly that. They've changed their stripes so many times. It's almost like they're chasing the trends, right? They went from doing mining stuff to doing a data center provider. When that wasn't hot, they became a crypto company for a brief period of time. Then they became, they feel like they're sort of chasing all these different trends. So whatever they are today, if you go to their website, they're saying they're all about AI cloud, of course, because that's the hot thing. So, okay. In any event, but can you trade it is probably the big question. This gap down is interesting if you look at a daily, because it's below all the recent action, and it looks like it's holding well. In the few times I've watched this stock, you've got to be careful, because even with negative news like this, for whatever reason, this is one that can sort of pop up. It trades almost like a Chinese stock in that way, where the price action doesn't always follow the news. I don't know if it's dual traded, but it feels like it is, just the way it moves sometimes. So, in any event, they are. I'm just looking at trying to get some details on the company. Their locations are across the U.S. and Canada. I don't know. IREN is it's a little bit of an iffy one. If you guys have an opinion, if you like it, wow. I don't know how to say your name. There's too many vowels in weird places for Iondinu. Anyways, you're saying IREN is your best winning stock. Usually when it moves nicely. Okay, so you got it on. You know what? Because you have positive things to say, we'll add it down here onto the secondary list, and it'll give us something to take a look at. Okay. I said this list is changing as we go. I see a few more things here. See popping up onto the gap down list. mRNA is on the list right now. We got Cipher, which is another crypto company. I've seen on the list. I can't remember what this is. I don't think it has anything to do with cats.
This is your favorite stock. Come on, Peter.
Hyperliquid Strategies? Why is this my favorite stock?
Because we've seen it so many times in the gappers list.
Okay.
And whenever I see her, I just remember my cat for some reason.
I can understand why. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I don't see any fresh negative news on this thing. It's probably also
right.
some profit taking. We've seen it on our gappers list for a few days in a row, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, look at this daily chart. It's been on our gappers list multiple times,
Yeah.
but
It's been moving, so I mean, it makes sense that it's red on a Friday as it's going to pull back a little bit. I mean, coming from being a $7 stock to having doubled in price over the course of the week, you're going to get some pullback. So I think that that makes sense. It's not making my list. We got too many other good things. How can you go wrong with a stock named Per? Yeah. Well, okay. Tell you what, you trade it, Steve, and let me know how it goes, because I just not something that I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out. All right, so guys, I feel like I have too many things on this list to watch, because there's all the regulars which aren't doing all that much this morning that we also have to worry about, right? We've got Tesla, for example. Tesla's up, but it's like 0.1%, right, on pretty low volume actually. What about all the semis? I mean, we talked about Marvell, which is gapping down, but Marvell was being led by some of the big dogs like NVIDIA earlier this week, and NVIDIA's down 0.2% on decent volume, but it always gets decent volume, 3.7 million shares. Excuse me, million shares traded, but it's not moving that much. AMD, one of my favorites, not moving that much, down just under 1% with very low volume at 155,000 shares. So yeah, it feels like a pretty a lazy Friday. It might make sense. It could be that the market at large is waiting for news from Jackson Hole. Like I said, Warson's been very careful about keeping some mystery, some uncertainty there in the air. And that means that the market is probably going to want to hear his comments before it makes some big decisions going into this weekend. So most of the stuff, even Apple, it's up 0.5% on 700,000 shares. That's pretty average. And then you don't expect the things like Microsoft, Google, or Meta to move, and pretty much they are not moving despite having some activity earlier this week. So all in all, said fairly quiet going into this Friday. Eamon, anything that you're looking at that we haven't covered?
I actually like, and I mean, not going through the gappers list, but there is one stock that I'm interested in watching, Microsoft. Microsoft is sitting at a really good spot on the daily chart, on the hourly chart. It's forming a flag starting from yesterday, so there is a chance, small chance, that we might break all-time high. And if we did, we're going to get, not all-time high, sorry, the high of the consolidation that we had since the beginning of August. So
Right,
small, clean flag. It had a good run yesterday as well.
Yeah, I see that, how it moved up yesterday. You're right. It is heading towards that. Now, you said this is not all-time high. Oh, yeah, no. It was much higher.
Yeah, it looks like it because the all-time high has been there maybe a year ago, and it's really weird to see a tech company that did not make all-time high this year.
Right. Well, yeah, you're right there. It spiked higher last year, July, and then again in October, but and then really sold off. Oh, look at that. Okay. So, yeah, Microsoft is back, and if you look at the short term, it's in this area. You said you were looking at a 60-minute chart. Yeah, you can sort of see better this area that it has spiked to back on the 10th of August. So I just put a level there to give me some indication. I understand why you like it. All right. So that's fair. I don't think I'll put it on my list, but if you're watching it, you'll let us know if it moves.
Definitely.
So, there we go.
Well, that's
looking
the
at
only
my
thing
list,
I like for today.
I still think there's too many things. I only like one popcorn stock, so I'm going to take TNON off, and I'll leave it in favor of QNRX. And this gives us, I think, a manageable list of things to keep an eye on. All right. So I think, the next thing we could do for today, how about the fun fact? I'm up for a fun fact.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Fun fact it is.
Yeah, this is actually a really interesting science experiment.
About underwear.
It's about underwear. And like I said, it's a really weird science experiment. Scientists from the University of Zurich asked around 1,000 people to bury their underwear in the ground. I mean, really weird, but actual underwear. And around 2,000 pairs were buried in different places. But there was actually a good reason. Scientists wanted to measure how healthy the soil was. The underwear was made mostly from cotton, and the cotton is a natural material. Bacteria and other tiny organisms in healthy soil will slowly eat and break it down. And after several weeks, people dug the underwear back up, and if most of it had disappeared, it means that the soil is active and the soil is healthy. If the underwear still looked almost new, that means that there is not much activity in the soil. So instead of expensive equipment to test how active or how good your soil is, scientists basically used underwear as a soil health test. And I think that's probably one of the few times when finding holes in the underwear is a good sign. Anyway, let's go to today in history. And it's about UPS on.
I want to know how you're
All
going to
right.
tie these stories together. All right, keep going. It's all great.
No, those ones are not tied, luckily. Anyway, on
Oh,
August 28th, I mean, it would be tough to just tie UPS with underwears and holes. But anyway, let's go back to the today in history. So on August 28th, 1907, a 19-year-old guy named James Casey, he started a tiny delivery company in Seattle. He did not have trucks, he did not have warehouses, and obviously Amazon did not exist yet. Maybe that was in his favor. He started with just $100 that he borrowed from a friend. The company was called American Messenger Company. Casey and some other teenagers delivered packages and messages mostly on foot and by bicycles. And at that time, people obviously needed messengers to deliver things, notes, food, packages around the city. I mean, we always need them. A few years later, this company bought its first delivery vehicle, a Ford Model T. Then it expanded and expanded again, and expanded again, and eventually the American Messenger Company changed its name to something you probably know better right now, United Parcel Service, UPS, and obviously today UPS operates one of the largest delivery networks in the world. And I think the beginning is the best part. One of the world's biggest logistics companies did not start with some giant investment or hundreds of millions from venture capital. It literally started with a teenager in a bicycle who did not have $100 and he needed to borrow it.
well, a lot of success stories in tech companies have started that way. If you there's always the famous story of Hewlett Packard, right? That started in a tiny garage. They like to show pictures of that little garage there that it started in. Here's a photo of it. So yeah, there's some good success stories of companies that have started in a very modest backgrounds and then grew to mammoth proportions. So all right, well that's our fun fact of the day, Eamon. Thank you very much for that. And normally you would disappear, but are you sticking with us through the open today? Is that
I think at 9:30 Mike is joining, so I'll stick
okay?
until 9:30. Yep.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. All right, sounds good. Which means that we've got half an hour, guys, to set some levels and get ourselves ready. Just as a reminder, today, if we look at the back on the economic calendar, there's a few things that we are waiting on. Most importantly, of course, is the speech by Warsh from Jackson Hole. So there's a bunch of economic data coming out at 9:45 and 10, like we mentioned. Don't expect the actual economic data to move the market. What everybody wants to know is what's the number, right? What is the Fed rate, and is it going to remain unchanged? Is it going to increase, or is it going to decrease, like we were talking about a little bit earlier? If I go back to, I got to find that page here. We've got the majority of sentiment, or at least 2/3 of the sentiment that believes that it's going to remain unchanged. 1/3 says it's going to increase the rates, which the market doesn't usually like rate increases because that affects lending rates, of course, especially for highly indebted companies. A lot of tech companies use debt heavily from the banks, and they don't want those rates to increase. But we'll see what happens. It could go any way. Everything's on the table, really. Just because that's the sentiment. Remember, Warsh has been very careful about keeping people in the dark on his thinking, because he wants to follow the market, not have the market follow the Fed. So we'll see where it goes. All right, which brings us back to all of our stocks and the things that we were watching. Why don't we set some levels on the stuff that we've got on the gappers list? Because I think that's, it could get us ready for this morning. I want to have a few ideas for trades that we can get ready for and hopefully take advantage of if and when the time comes. So since it's on the screen here, I might as well start with Microsoft that Eamon just mentioned. And we already set the level, right? I think Microsoft will be using the daily for this. That level that was the high back on the 10th of August is the high they're going to be watching. I set a level in advance of that. The actual level here, by the way, the spike high is $513.73. I set my level at just over $512 because, Microsoft can move very actively if it gets going, and I'm going to want some advance notice. Remember, levels are always a range, and whatever I set them with the expectation. It's just giving me an idea of where we might get support or resistance, right? Not an exact number that is going to stop at, to the dime. So it doesn't usually work that way. So anyways, I've got that level set. It gives me an idea. If I look at the 60-minute chart, so what is the more recent price action? Well, I don't see anything of significance. This is sort of the best level that we support back on the 13th and 14th of August and hit there again just a couple of days ago on the 26th, which would have been Wednesday. But the highs and lows of the previous 2 days I have automatically marked in my chart. So, I don't need to remark them. They're there. I remember we mentioned this earlier this week that I was going to add those in. I did add those studies in, so now it just automatically gets marked. By the way, if you ever see this on my charts, I sort of do it, I always do it, this lighter purplish line. If it's a big dash, it's the high of day for either yesterday or 2 days ago. If it's a smaller dashed line, or a dotted line if you prefer, then it's the low of the previous 2 days. And you can see these all are on this one chart. So you can see the high and low of yesterday and the high and low of the day before that are marked here. So that gives me some levels I can automatically look at what we're doing here pre-market, right? We're sort of staying right below the high that was set yesterday. So not a coincidence, right? That look at how we came right up to that on this 5-minute chart. So anyways, so that's Microsoft. And those are the levels you're going to see across all my charts. All right, to the top of the list then, Marvell was one that we were looking at because of their earnings and, having disappointed expectations. And you can see how we're dropping below all the level we've been sitting at for the last 2 weeks. So I think that I'm going to zoom in here on a 60-minute chart because I want to see what is this low down here. I think this is going to give us an indication of where we could move to. 212.14, yeah, that's probably a good level because it was right in this area that we were dropping to. In fact, I might want to move this up a little bit. I like 214 actually is a better level, so I'm just going to put this at 214. I think that's, I'm going to watch if we get down there. I mean, we could drop a little lower. In fact, I'm going to put the level back now that I think about it. So I've got two here. One at 214 is advanced notice. One just below 212, because this is an area you can see we had a whole bunch of consolidation back on 2 days, the 18th and 19th. So that gives me some idea of what we can do on Marvell, both to the top and bottom side. Yeah, if you look at where we're at right now, we're sort of in, it's not exactly a gap, but back on the 19th, you can see I had this one big candle that shot it up. I think we could very well drop and fill the gap. So my point of view right now is a potential short on Marvell, but I don't know. I mean, it's been showing support all morning, so I have to be careful with it, right? It really doesn't look weak. I'll have to go and check the market atlas a little bit later, and we'll see where that goes if I bring this market atlas over on my other screen. Let's do that. Let's just see what it's doing. Now, it's not going to tell me much at this moment, right? Because we were pre-market and the orders don't get populated. You really have to wait to the opening bell. But if you haven't used Market Atlas, it's a great tool on Trading Terminal that shows us where volumes could potentially sit, right? And when the opening bell rings, you'll see a whole bunch of volume populate right into it, and it'll tell me where's the stock more likely to go to. There's no guarantees, but where that volume sits shows where some of the deeper pockets are placing their bets and trying to entice a stock to move towards. So right now, yeah, as expected, it's not really telling us much, but when that opening bell rings, it'll give me an indication. So right now, I've got a short base theory on Marvell, but I don't know. I mean, I said it's getting a lot of support down here, and we know it's got lots of room to move to the top side just to get back to yesterday's close. We'll have to see what the market sentiment also is at the open, because right now if we look at the SPY and the Qs, you can see they're both pushing a little bit higher, which means that if Marvell just goes with the market, it could move higher. So, I'm ready to be proven wrong, as I always am in the morning. But, that's what I'm thinking, right or wrong. All right. Next one on the gappers list, of course, is the gap. And the gap is up here this morning. A good move here, 18%. And if I look, there's certainly, look at this gap that it had back at the end of May, which means I'm going to pay attention to this single candle here, because around $25, it looks like this thing had some resistance, because it wasn't able to get any higher than that on that day, despite having moved there quite aggressively. Ooh, that puts us into another gap that it had back here in the early March timeframe, which is interesting. So I don't know where the gap can go to, but I'm thinking that $25 may be where it hits its head against. And then I'm going to just mark the bottom end of the gap on the gap on the gap day. I'm having too much fun saying that. Anyways, down here, so that we can just be aware that what is the low of this candle? 23.75. Yeah, I'm going to leave my level at 23.79. So I've bracketed the current, the price that we moved so far this morning with a high and low of this sort of gap candle here, because I think that could be important. We're in that range. If we break through it, which we could, top or bottom side, we may say movement. I'm not sure what to think on the gap. I'm not as familiar with it, and it's a nicey stock. So I'm going to wait for the volume to maybe give me an indication of where this thing's moving and see if we can get a trade opportunity. All right, Affirm is the next one that's on the list. We got to take a look at AFRM, and it's moving up now. Once again, right there, I don't believe in coincidences on this. This is why we look at the chart and set our levels. Look at this area. I mean, basically exactly where the price is right now. This is the high that we set back in July. And look, we tested that twice before having dropped. Now this, this gap move is moving us back to this high that we set in July. Oh, look at this. And which was slightly higher than a level we set back right at the beginning of the year, back in January. So, these levels are here for a reason, because stocks continue to test them. If I look higher back in 2025, in September, you can see how we had it hit its head on a different level up a little bit higher at 92.50. So I'm just going to set that on my daily chart in case there's more room to move higher. I know, sort of the art of the possible and where we could move to. And I feel I've got this bracketed well. So Affirm, well, I mean, the volume is a little low. I was hoping at this point at, 10 after 9 almost, that we'd see a little more volume. It still only has 560,000 shares, so that makes it a little speculative for me, as if it's going to be one that we're going to get movement on. We'll see what we get. So, which moves me to my next one on PayPal. PayPal, had this slow, steady move up, as Eamon reported. The deal is off, and they've lost basically all of that altitude. I already set a level at the top of this gap, so this gap here that it had in July, I think, is very important. I'm going to put a level right at the top of that. There we go. So I've got this bracketed, right? 48.50 roughly to the downside. 50, where is this level that I just put? 53.50 to the bottom side. Let's make sure that's in the right area. 53.40. So I think that's good. It shows me the range. We're playing in this gap. Expected either to pull up above it or drop down and fill this gap right to the downside. What do I think on PayPal? I don't know. I mean, right now, we've had a little bit of move up in the last hour and a half, but I still have a short bias thesis, I think, on it. I would love to see this go down and fill the gap. Ooh, look at the low.
I actually agree with you. I mean, first of all, we gap down on negative news. Now we're overbought during the pre-market. Like, what's that? $3 to the upside into a level which is 53.50ish. So it would be interesting to see how it's going to behave around 53.50ish. If it finds some topping price action around there, it could be an interesting short.
So I just realized there's another marker that I don't have on my chart, and I'm going to add it in here now, because another one that I like is the pre-market high and low. So I like to put the pre-market high and low on here, because that helps me just know what it was doing before the market opened. And here we go. Pre-market high. And I'm just going to make this purple, because that's typically the color I have. pardon me for a sec. Like these allergies, man, they're driving me crazy. All right. And then you guys watching me sort of do my administrative duties here as I pre-market low. I don't. You probably can't really see this, but this is where you set settings here. This is using the DOS tool, and I just have to make these changes so I can get this loaded in here. And then I got to clear these last two. And then I can get those set. So that way I don't have to manually set it. And there is a bunch of these settings, as you might see in here, right? You can set where it automatically set yesterday's high, 2 days ago high. That's what YY, right? Yesterday, high and low, pre-market high and low, right? Last bar length, blah, blah, blah. There's all sorts of interesting automatic settings that you can get it so you don't have to manually put those in. So if I get those set, see how the line just popped right in there so I don't have to set it myself. So now I know where the pre-market high and low is, and that's right on my chart. So now I think that's going to be important for PayPal because we'll have to see. What I'm hoping at this point, frankly, is going to test this pre-market high, right, and fail and go at least to the pre-market low, or if it does better and it really sells off, we could get to this gap low, which would give us a lot of room to the downside. That would be a nice move, right? So that would be something that I would like to see, and we'll see if it happens. I like it that Eamon agrees with me. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy. So we'll see if it happens, though. We could both be wrong, right? And this is why you have to have I like to have a point of view. But what is the old expression that you have strong opinions held loosely? Right, so that's my strong opinion. But if I'm proven wrong, then I'm not going to force my opinion on the market because that never works. That's just a way to lose money, right? So if it happens to set up, then great. If it doesn't, abandon that point of view. Okay, that brings us to the next thing on the gappers list here, which is IREN. And IRN, like I mentioned, a company that confuses me, but they're gapping down here. Not so much, right? They're only down about 5-6%. I do see a level right here where you can see this, where it definitely got support before, $37. So I'll put my level there at $37 just because it's where it bounced from previously. We could say pre-market. It did go down to that level, so we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, there's a level down here or got support, but I don't think. Look at the size of these daily candles. I don't have an expectation really it's going to go all the way down to $29. It's not typically that big of a mover, even if in its big days, right? When it has these big moving days, it doesn't move that far. So, because of that, that's one of the reasons I'm not so excited about IREN. And of course, I've got the highs and lows of the previous 2 days already marked here, so which are pretty small, narrow range. So that's about it. Last but not least, guys, we had this popcorn ticker. If you're watching it, I don't know how relevant levels are when you get to a popcorn stock, right? Because look at this. Right, we're way beyond anything that it had traded previously, and the last time it was in this range were these sort of big, crazy candles that were, twice the current value of the company and movement. So, it's one of those things where it's just moving pretty radically. So we should probably zoom in and just see what it's done. Well, you can see the high and low of the pre-market. That's probably the only levels you need, right? It's going to trade somewhere in that range probably. So. If it's something you like, by all means, it certainly got the volume. 13.7 million shares now traded on it, up 39% so far today. And like you can see here, it was up more than 100% a little bit earlier. So, be ready. It can certainly make that type of move, or it could do absolutely nothing. It could really go either way. So, those are all the levels I've got. Eamon, I know you like to, you sort of set levels. You often look for different setups on the open. Is there anything that you're, watching or levels on something we are watching that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, I actually was going through a couple things out there, but we went through a lot. The main one that I'm watching is Microsoft, and one of the levels that I am watching actually is not that far. It's yesterday's high, but it's automatic 506.40ish or 50ish. And you did mark the 513 or 512 level on Microsoft, saying that yes, that's where it could pause. And I agree with you, but the main play that I'm actually looking for is the break of yesterday's high into that $512 area to use it as a target. That's kind of my main plan on it. Small disappointing part is that this thing has been slowly crawling up from 7:50 a.m. all the way to like 8:50 a.m. It made around $3 to $4 move. But still, I mean, it's pulling back. Luckily, it's not continuing the move, and if it ends up holding somewhere around VWAP, giving us a good opinion range breakout, we might end up playing it all the way up to 512. There is Apple. We did take a look at Apple. I mean, it's uh, again, not the cleanest daily chart, but it looks like today is the day where it wants to finally break above a consolidation that we've been sitting in for around a month. If we get some good momentum from the market, then yes, $312 area could actually be a good target. Apple actually has a $6 average through range. Yesterday it closed around 314. $6 is the usual intraday move that it can make, which goes exactly to $312 area, the $20 area as a target. And obviously, NVDA goes nowhere. I mean, this is on our always watch list. We had earnings a couple days ago. Yesterday, it had a good day. It's also sitting right above the 14th of August area. It's a consolidation that we've been holding below for a long time now. And yesterday it had good momentum above this consolidation area. So maybe if we get lucky, we could have good momentum. But to be fair, look at what we have. We have NVDA, we have Apple, and we have Microsoft, three of them tech companies. And all of them were looking for a long play. So it's either all of them are going to work or all of them are going to fail. I mean, one has good earnings, one doesn't have. So I'll end up watching one of these. And I have no idea which one of these three I'm going to watch at the open. I'll just have the three of them on my monitor and see which one makes the move right at the open.
Well, there you go. There you go. Okay. Thanks for that. So he's got his setup and his ideas. We'll see what happens, guys. Don't forget that this channel and what we're doing here is all part of the Bear Bull trading community. And at Bear Bull Traders, we've got an active and vibrant community, a chat room that's open all day and all the time that the market is open. Here's that chat room active now. We're doing engineering the markets over there with Jared and Brian. You can see are live on the microphone. Andrew will be joining in a few minutes to live trade through the open. As part of that community, they have all sorts of events and activities. So it's a Friday, which means we don't have as many webinars as we normally do the rest of the week. We've got psychology webinars. We've got strategy webinars. I was pleased to be able to give the strategy webinar on Tuesday on the lightning bolt strategy. One I'll be looking for again today if we can get that type of trade, which is a strategy trade through the VWAP with momentum. So if we can get that type of move, I'll be looking to try and take advantage. But it's been a quiet week for them, actually. I haven't seen very many. So anyways, we'll see what happens. And on Friday, we always have our boot camp meeting. Well, not always, but often there's a boot camp prep meeting. Mike leads that. And that boot camp prep is one that allows you to get prepared for the very intensive Peak Capital Trading Bootcamp, which our final session of the 2026 calendar year starts in September and goes through the first week of December. That's going to be pretty exciting because it's starting in just a week here, and it's not too late to join. It's an intensive 3-month program, though, so I would not recommend you join unless you're ready to spend the time and the energy to make it worthwhile. The whole point of that bootcamp is to help you build the skills needed to trade confidently for the long term and profitably. And we have had thousands of people go through that boot camp, and it's been a fantastic experience. What part of that boot camp is a funded account? It's really what I don't want people to focus on because we want you to practice learning your trading, but it's there, and people make money off of it, right? We have had so many people who have benefited and profited from the funded account. Here's just some of the people that got paid out on their funded account. You can see we got 16 pages of paid funded account recipients who got paid out over the last little while. So these accounts, if you make money, so basically you're simulation trading, right? You're trading in a simulator, but if you make real money, if your account is in the positive, Andrew will pay you the value of what you make up to a cap. While there's some people who have massive profits in the account and demonstrated they are truly excellent traders, it does get capped. So yeah, I think it's a $10,000 cap on that. But it's amazing to see some of these success stories, and some of them are Alyssa, probably our biggest winner of all time, $63,000. That's pretty impressive. That means she like quadrupled the size of the account that she was given, right, over 3 months. That's a great result.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, right? So.
And to be fair, like there is a cap which is $10,000. I agree with Peter, but think about from this perspective. You're starting your trading account with $12,500. I mean, $50,000 buying power,
Yep.
and 3 months of trading. it's really difficult to get these $10,000 in 3 months. You're basically doubling the account in 3 months. So it makes total sense to have a cap at $10,000. If you make more than that, you're either an extraordinary trader, and don't get me wrong, there are extraordinary traders, or you're a gambler who went into low floats making hundreds of thousands. So there is a reason why there is a cap, and I think it's logical to have it at around $10,000.
And what's interesting, if you go to Trading Terminal, you can actually, I think you can find this leaderboard. And if you click on it, you can actually see the details of what they traded. So not only do we just give you the number, but we sort of show you some of what they did and how their profitability looked over time. It's not always straight up, right? Even Alyssa, the biggest winner of all time, you can see how she had some ups and downs. And she increased her size over time. Her average winner was only $300. But her biggest winner was $5,000, $5,500 in a single trade. Her biggest loser was $3,400. But you can see how she traded bigger size that caused some irregularities in her her results, and that happens, right? If you look at all of these winners, let's go to someone who had more modest. Martina, who is here, you can see. So sort of was doing really well early on, had quite a bit of a setback, right? But managed to recover it, and sort of showed some maturity in the trading and ability to pull that back in. So it's sort of fascinating to go and see how people are trading and what their performance stats look like. So all of that is available on Trading Terminal, which is, by the way, where I'm going to get all of my information. If you look at Trading Terminal, it's a great place for data on the markets, tradingterminal.com. Sorry to give the plugs, but we really do use this. We get our market data, we get the economic calendar, we get the scanners, right, that I'm using in the morning here. These scanners, right, that I'm using to show you the gappers list that comes right out of Trading Terminal. We're using that live every morning, as well, of course, as the Market Atlas. Here's what that looks like when you call it up. And like I said, once it really kicks in once the opening bell rings. So it's not good to look at it now because you're not going to see a lot of volumes. But here's more on something like Tesla, more what it looks like when the market opens. And you can sort of see where the volume sits, which gives you an indication where the stock price is likely to go. You get this information, by the way, in different tools, especially if you've got a paid brokerage account or a trading platform. But this is a different graphical visualization methodology, and I love it because as much as I was a little skeptical, I'll admit, because I used level 2 very heavily, and I'm like, I don't need this. I can see that same information on level 2. Use it for just a week or two, and suddenly you realize how much easier it is to see all this data, to be able to scroll, right, and sort of take a look at the broader picture. I found it fascinating once I started using it, how easy it was to sort of adapt to it and get value from it. So in any event, there you go. There's the pitch on the tools. Like I mentioned, back into Bearable Traders, the single event for today is, again, this boot camp prep meeting at noon. And if you're interested in the boot camp, you only get invited to that, by the way, if you've signed up for a boot camp. So if you haven't signed up, what you need to go to Peak Capital Trading. And if you go into Peak Capital Trading, you can see all the information you'll need, how to register. And if you got questions, reach out. We're happy to answer them. Peter at pcapitaltrading.com, Mike at pcapitaltrading.com. We're part of it. You can email us. We'll happily answer your questions. Or ask people out there. Ask people in YouTube. There's a number of you that have attended the boot camp. And give honest feedback. Loved it, hated it. It worked, it didn't work for you. Tell people how it really worked. We appreciate all of that feedback. All right. So there you go. There's our promo stuff we have to do for the day. If I could do one last thing, because I'm pretty excited about this, there is one more thing that I want to talk about today, and that is that next week we are going to be having a guest on this show, and that guest is going to be coming Tuesday at around 10:30. And that guest is going to be Brent Donnelly, who is sort of a senior executive in Spectra Markets, which is an foreign exchange currency trading firm. But he's an active trader. He's traded for Citibank. He's traded for Lehman's. He's traded all over the markets and has professional experience on Wall Street for decades, and has written a number of books, including Alpha Trader and his latest book called Trade Outside the Box. And it's a great book and a great follow-on to Alpha Trader, and they apply to all sort of classes of trading instruments. So whether you trade equities, options, futures, or currency, The lessons he provides in both Alpha Trader and his new book, Trade Outside the Box, is very worth paying attention to. So he's going to be on here at 10:30 on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. And I'm looking forward to having Brent here with us. All right. There you go. Now I've done it all. I think that's everything we need to talk about. We will go. And Eamon just sent me a note while I was talking there, apologizing. I was trying to figure out what he was talking about because I thought he's still here, but he's not. Look, he's frozen. He's very frozen. He said that he got disconnected, and he hopefully will be back soon. He's having internet problems over there, so whatever's happening, somebody's messing with his internet. So we'll keep going, and I will get. Actually, I got to get set up here for the opening bell, which is coming in just 4 minutes. How are you guys doing? Oh, there you go, Will. I appreciate that. Brent does very good work. Take the damn trade. You know what? You found the plot. You're absolutely correct, and that's a good reminder for me, right? That I need to get in there and do this. Take the damn trade. It's good. Now, I'm an under trader, right? That you might need the opposite lesson if you're an over trader. If you're out there trading everything that moves, you may not want to take the damn trade. Your objective is to try and take fewer trades. My job is to try and take as many trades as possible because I'm naturally risk adverse. So I tend to gravitate towards sitting on the sidelines and not taking the darn trade. So take the damn trade. I decided, by the way, I had a more strongly worded one, but I got this as a gift. So this has become the expression, take the damn trade. So there you go. Anyways, all right, let's get ready for this open. Actually, let me see if Mike is here. Mike might be sitting in the wings, and if I don't enable him, he's not able to participate. So I think he's out there somewhere. Hold on, I've got to both turn him on and turn his microphone on, or you won't be able to see or hear him. Yeah, I switched all of these screens over to be Eamon, so now we got to get them all back to be Mike. So, Mike, I think we should be able to hear you if you're out there. Is Mike out there? I thought he was there. Oh, hold on. I had a mic. There he is. I can see him. I can't hear him. Hold on a sec. That's probably on my end. Again, I've got to reset all the settings. Poor Mike. Where is he? He's number 6.
No, poor.
There you are. Now we can hear you.
All right.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
There we go.
Thank goodness. Okay. So, and I've got to re-enable all your stuff. We got 2 minutes from the open. Mike's here. We got to get Mike's screen going. There he is. All right. We're good to go. Mike, what are you watching as we head into this open?
I am watching AMD, PayPal, and the ES. Yes, because I added to my position instead of getting all out of the
Oh, no way. You're still in it.
Remember when I said, oh, I'm going to get out of AMD?
Yeah.
I added to it. And then this morning, I'm like, why do I have open positions?
No way.
And sure enough. So I am still short AMD. So
I'm impressed. That means you've held this for 3 days now.
I know.
And you're sticking with it. Okay. All right. All right. So guys, we're 1 minute from the open.
Still in a good spot.
Let's get ready for this open. I've got to put some of the stuff that we're watching here on the list. So I'll put the gap over here. Whoops. What did I just do? I'll put the gap over here. I'm going to put a firm. Oh yeah.
So I couldn't get out of it when I opened it up and finally looked at it and was like, oh, well, we're still below 475. I might as well.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, guys, we talked about what we're looking for on a couple of these different stocks. So we'll keep a close eye on it. Where is, oh my God, I don't have Microsoft anywhere.
Even though my break even's now 481.99, but still, I'm still in a pretty good spot.
Okay.
It's still like $7 away from my break even.
Right. Okay, guys, here's the open. We're going. We're going, baby. We're live. Let's see what we got on some of these moves. I'm watching PayPal. I'm watching the Gap. I'm watching Microsoft. So we'll see what we get here. I also got the Market Atlas going. So let's see here.
I will disclose that if I wasn't here with you, Peter, I doubt I would be trading today. I do not feel well.
Okay.
Like I
hear
feel
you.
good enough to like operate, but like just internally, I'm like, I feel like I'm fighting a bug off, you know? Like,
right.
Like you're not sick enough to just lie in bed and be like, leave me alone. But I'm like, So I think I would have taken the day off had I not been here with you.
Well,
So I'm blaming Carlos if I lose money today.
okay. Oh wow.
It's all Carlos's fault.
It's all Carlos' fault? Okay,
Yep.
well.
It'll be Carlos's fault.
So guys, I'm watching my stocks to see what's happening. I'm seeing a lot of orders down below 53 on PayPal. So I've gone short PayPal. I've got a generous stop on it because I want it to stop over. Now I'm in a losing position right now as it's pulled up on me, but I'm going to be adding into this if because I added small to start, and we'll see what we can get here.
AMD back down to that 470.
I hope we go get those orders.
Will we get
on
465
PayPal.
today?
Yeah, see, PayPal looks like it's weak, but I don't know PayPal enough. I'm a little
NVDA
nervous.
looks weak.
Oh, Microsoft is popping higher.
NVIDIA, where are you at, NVIDIA? Oh, see, I am all over the place. I don't even know what screens I'm looking at. There we go.
You're looking at NVIDIA. Don't forget to keep an eye on AMD.
Yes. I got my break even set on AMD, so I'm not worried about AMD. I should probably put a range order in, but that's all right.
Anything over the high of the day, which is currently 53.90, I will stop out if we hit a new high of day. Otherwise, I'm hoping for a drop on PayPal. Here's sort of where I'm at, and you can see what I'm looking at. And there's something. Oh, you know why? Because I added these levels. I wondered why my chart is so flat. Remember when I did live with you? I added some levels. You know what I forgot to do, Mike? The same thing you always forget to do. Unclick the include and scale. If you don't do that, there you go. See, now my chart looks more normal.
You get that
flattening. Yeah, you get that flat
Hey,
chart.
that's pretty good that you got in short. It's on SSR right now.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's down 13%.
I didn't even realize that. Huh. Well, I am in short, but it's not doing me any good at the moment. As I'm sitting in a losing position here. It's hanging out above my short level.
Apple pushing up to 317. I don't like the level on Apple. We're at SpaceX, Marvell. Why is my thing so dark? Oh, that's probably because of this. Oh no, that is ugly. I don't want that. Is this? No.
Bell
Sensitivity.
I'm trading PayPal. So far, it's not going the way I'd hoped. I was hoping for sort of a quick drop here. The fact that it's hanging out here is not good because it's not going to get those orders, all those orders that I saw sitting down on level 2. Again, high of day is my exit, so I'm just going to sit and wait, see what it does. But for the moment, it's I'm hoping that we're going to get a drop before we get a spike, because if we get a spike, then I'm going to have to get out of it. So let's do this.
I am just. I must understand where I am. Stop. 7, 7, 4. Five, 2. So I can take 4 contracts.
Yeah, it's
I get the
spiking up here
setup.
against me,
Alright.
so not exactly what I was looking for, obviously. I'm going to.
This one might be, if it
It's my-
rejects this previous pre-market high, it might be pretty decent for you.
It's my final ad here, and so this is the position that I was looking at. I'm gonna put my stop in here automatically. See what happens here.
Apple hit 318. It's 755 up here. 7540. Man, this thing is.
All right. We'll put my stop in at high of day, and we'll just wait and see what happens. Again, if PayPal unfortunately goes to a new high of day, then I will get out of this. I put it 1 cent, by the way, above the high of day. So my stop, and unfortunately it looks like we're going there. So
I want the MES. The MES here.
all right. And what's Mike looking at? Mike is looking at the MES, of course.
Looking at the MES.
Yeah. What else we got? We got to move up on Microsoft.
That's a tough purchase right here.
Gap is
tough
not
long
much.
here. I wouldn't mind. What do we got on the 15-minute? 15 minutes selling, which means the 30 and 60. Ooh, the 60's buying though.
Yeah, we're sort of buying back up. We were selling off a little bit at the open on the market. Now the market is pulling higher, so that's going a little higher. Don't forget, guys, 9:45 is when we have some economic data. Again, not major, but 10 o'clock is really the big event. That's when the big event is going to hit.
Oh, thank you, Peter. I'm not getting into anything on the market. That
see, there you go.
Thank you.
Good reminder. If you forgot about that, you don't get caught. We got the press conference, and I just got stopped out on PayPal, so I've got a loss to start the morning. You can see how I got added into this, and it just went to a new high, so I'm out of PayPal. Unfortunate, but it happens. So at least I took the trade, right? Right.
Yep.
So
I am not playing the market till Walsh gets out. It pisses everybody
there's
off.
time for moves to happen between now and then.
Yeah, but not the market.
Oh,
not like the MES. Right?
Yeah, right.
I don't.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting into that. I don't want to play the market till after he talks.
Marvell. Oh, Marvell.
Stocks, different story. I could possibly find some stocks to trade, but
Marvell got a pop here.
SpaceX is breaking, but yesterday's close on some volume too. Wow. That's what happens when I don't put my alerts in.
SNDK. Yeah, I see SNDK popping up here. It's moving with some aggression to the top side. So
Look at SpaceX go.
yeah. Yeah, SpaceX is also moving higher with some aggression. So
Yeah.
look at Marvell.
I
Okay.
think it wants to go test that 145, 150 level again. Here we go with the market. Yeah.
Yeah, the market's moving.
SpaceX. But with Walsh coming, man, that guy. I haven't figured him out yet. I haven't figured out what the market likes or dislikes about him yet.
Well, I think because the market hasn't figured it out, right? The market's trying to figure out what to do.
So
Wow, look at all those orders that disappeared. That's interesting. PayPal psyched me out. It had a whole bunch of orders, and the orders never got filled, but they all got pulled. If I look at the Market Atlas on PayPal, so Market Atlas never lies, but sometimes it can mislead.
Tesla Atlas. I don't know. I don't have it on there. Let me put here. Let's see what we get. Tesla Atlas. Uh, 360 looks like you got some orders at 360 at once. SpaceX, though, its expected move for today. Oh, somebody messaged me. Yeah, look at that, right up to 755. I figured we'd get that move, but
Pop higher on Microsoft. I missed the entry at VWAP. Microsoft might have been a good pick at VWAP, but I'm watching it now as it's pushing to a new high of day. Not in that. I was all distracted with PayPal at the time. Mike is taking a look at SpaceX here. Robowski, Mike, is asking, is the expected move the total range or from the open? How do you look at it?
So the expected move is the implied volatility that the option market gives at any specific time according to the strike price. So for me, I go at 8 a.m. After 8 a.m. goes, I start and I do the SPY, the Qs, and then I go Apple, AMD, Amazon, all the way through my stocks. SpaceX is down there. So roughly sometime between 8 and 8:10, I take the implied volatility and then I plus that off the current strike price, the in the money or at the money strike price. And that gives me the upper and lower bound expected move on the day. So for like SpaceX, I'll bring over and then the next follow-up question I'm sure is where do you get that from, right? I get that from Thinkorswim. So this right here is the implied volatility at any given time. So right now it is plus 3.039 and the in the money or at the money strike price is 142. So I would take 142 plus 3.042 and then minus 142 minus 3.04 to get the bottom range. And that's what you get. And that gives me the daily expected move. For the weekly, which is a pink line, I don't think I have it on anything here. I don't think you can. Maybe you can see it if I move this to 30-minute or 60 maybe. Yeah, so this pink is what I calculate Monday at 8 a.m. But because I was on YouTube, I did this more at 7:30 a.m. So, and you can see we spiked right to it right now. Let's see if we are going to beat it or if we are going to reject it. And I have found that those levels are actually pretty good levels to identify rejection points or breakout points. If you stay below them, it becomes resistance. And if you can find a good setup for a short, it's good to take shorts off of them. If they break above it and it turns into support, it's good if you can find a breakout point off of it. So, and as you can see, SpaceX spiked right up to that area and then down. And understand this, the thing I had trouble with early in my trading career. It is not a specific price level. It is an area. So you could be off by 5 cents, 10 cents. You just gotta figure it out. The more you do it consistently, the more reliable and the more reliable data and observations that you can take from it. So that is what I found. So I like it. And it really only takes me about 10 minutes to do them in the morning. And if you can pair that up with a big seller or big buyer, so you can see on this 60-minute chart, this is kind of, this area here is where we sold, but this green line is where we've kind of topped out. It's the upper or the higher high on the swing. So we will see. See what SpaceX does. See if we get a push back up to it and another rejection. I might short this, but SpaceX is strong today. It'd be hard to short SpaceX. Got orders at 150 and at 145. No. Market. It is climbing until the Fed speaks.
Yeah.
So. You know, Peter, well, are we close to the, no, we got about 12 minutes. So there, are you in a trade, Peter? I don't want to distract you.
I somehow ended up back into PayPal, and I didn't mean to. I was trying to just see how my buttons were configured. So I'm not now. I'm just got out. It was all acting weird.
Yeah. There's been kind of a story that I think has really flown under the radar lately. But could have significant impacts on the market if something actually happened over the weekend. I think it was over the weekend or early this week. Did you see the article or the news report on a U.S. plane landing in Moscow, military plane landing in Moscow?
No.
See, you didn't either. Okay. So it was either over the weekend or on Monday that a military plane landed in Moscow. There was video recording, everything. Everybody's like, what the heck? Very underreported. Like I saw it on CNN, and then the next day it was gone and nothing about it, right? It was a C-130, it was there, or C-17, it was a one. Well, yesterday, I saw another article or yesterday I saw an article that Russia was thinking about attacking a NATO country, i.e. Britain, because
What?
Britain is providing Ukraine long-range missiles that are attacking deep into Russia. So we've heard that Russia's getting a little spooked because all these people are attacking deeper into Russia.
Right.
Then late last night, it was revealed it was the CIA director for the US that landed to go speak directly with Moscow to say, hey, do not attack a NATO country.
Right.
So and the reason I bring this up isn't conspiracy. Sometimes when news stories are quiet, right? They're more impactful than they're more impactful than you think. And if you truly understand that the impact of Russia attacking a NATO country to see what the impact of the alliance will have, that will impact markets.
Right.
Like that will impact markets because that is big stuff. But very interesting how low key the reports have kind of been on it. So typically you when something like that happens, there's a big spectacle and Moscow wants to get their side, right? US wants to get their side. This is just, it happened. Quiet. Any comment? No. Didn't happen. We don't know.
No comment.
Yeah. No comment. Like that's when you go, So were we truly that close to Russia attacking NATO? Because that would have destroyed the markets this week. So something to keep an eye out.
There's broader economic problems with that, but yes, the market certainly would be destroyed too. So, yeah.
Wow. So just I'm not being conspiracy. I'm just saying, understand that the market can things can flip on a dime, right? That was something that I don't think a lot of people were on the radar with all the other stuff.
I certainly wasn't.
So tinfoil hat, not necessarily a tinfoil hat, that it's all legit out there. I mean, legit news stories are reporting it. It isn't your outskirts.
Right.
So SpaceX did reject that level, but didn't give me really an entry that I could see it. The MES pushed higher. That's what I was afraid of. And as we get ready to go into this, what's his face, right? The Fed, Walsh. Yes, I am still short AMD. My new break even's 481. So if it goes up there, I'll get out. Which is basically where I was getting out yesterday anyway. So it's not like I'm losing any money on it. Just one of those. I made a red arrow appear because I saw green arrows all day on my chart, right? I'm like, oh, I need to get out of this red arrow. Hit it. And not going, oh yeah, I was short overnight, so I only have green arrows. I need the green arrow to appear. MES. That's what I was afraid of. Was I had a good setup and a good indicator on the MES kind of pushing up, but I'm
not seeing anything else.
Thank you very much for reminding me about that call.
Well, that's important because it's probably the big, well, not probably, it's absolutely the big news event of the day. So we got to be aware of it.
Yeah. Um, a 4-hour? What's my expectation on the Fed? I think he's going to say stuff and the market's going to react.
that's a very generic expectation, Mike. I think you're right.
But
I will agree with you on that. 100%.
do I think it's going to go up or down? I have no idea. So let's see. Let's see what great ideas they came up with on drinking whiskey and smoking cigars last night in the hole.
He's
In
going to
the
flap his
speakeasy.
gums, and the market is going to do a thing. I like it.
Yeah.
That is a very reasonable expectation.
Yeah, Pat, watch it just be like flat. Like, Mike, you're wrong.
that would be a rarity, an oddity, if the market actually is flat and does nothing. But I mean, it's possible. But
See,
seems highly unlikely.
But look, everybody. See, everybody enjoyed my remarks because all of you were thinking the same thing. You have no idea what way it's going to go, but you know that he's going to say something and the market's going to do something. So, now if it was Powell, maybe I'd have a better analysis because I think the market understands what Powell would say. But Walsh,
Walsh
is he going to
I
give
mean,
information?
and he's purposely setting it up this way, right? Like, he does not want to be predictable. He wants to have the markets, wondering what he's going to do and making their own decisions is sort of what he's looking for. So
yeah, it's just a different approach. So
yeah.
So as you can see in preparation, the market has basically come down to where it opened. Now we are going to
we're
sit here
getting into it, a minute and a half away, so be careful.
PayPal still climbing.
Yeah, it is.
News on PayPal was negative.
It was because, but when you cancel sort of an acquisition, a takeover, merger, all of those, you tend to get uncertain moves because it depends on how people perceive it, right? Could see that they dodged a bullet, or it could see that they've got decreased value. So I actually just tried a short. It looked like it was topping here on PayPal. I took a very cautious short. It was in the green for a bit, and then it came back to my break even, and I just let it stop me out. So which is good because we're heading right into.
Looks like somebody. Yeah, looks like somebody keeps moving their order up right here on the MES.
There was a whole lot of orders down below that keep getting pulled. So you're right. Somebody's sort of abandoning their point of view, and somebody's looking at this as an opportunity to accumulate. Should have gone long PayPal instead of trying to short it. Easy to say in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah, easy. Let me turn Benzinga on so I can listen when he announces wonderful things from Walsh.
All right.
And Pat messing with the semis. Oh man, look at that.
This is where we're gonna get some movement. Let's see if we can find a. There's got to be a live feed to tap into somewhere. If we can, I'm looking for a live feed. There's a bunch of them that purport. None of them seem to be live yet. So I assume that means he hasn't hit the stage.
Well, Benzinga's like reading something right now.
Yeah.
Or comments that he gave out or publish at 8. Basically, he's happy with labor. He's not happy with prices. Inflation's too high and a threat to the economy. Again, he reiterated markets, do your own damn research, quit relying on my crappy past data to determine what you're going to do. He basically sounded like, we need you to do your job so that we can do our job more effectively.
He is live on the stage. I got him here.
Yeah. So now he's coming up.
He's calling it a trail map. He's like, I'm not going to call it guidance. I'm giving you a potential trail map. I like. He's playing with words. I love it.
A trail map. There was some economic data that came out, wasn't there? Too, right at that same time. Oh, the current conditions. Nobody gives a crap about that. Michigan consumer sentiment. Why is it Michigan consumer sentiment? What's so special about the state of Michigan sentiment? You got the link, Peter?
I don't have a good link. It is live on it's live on Fox Business News. It's one where I found it. It's quiet though. It's like hard to hear. I like how he's
live.
like,
there we go.
Standing before the unchanging backdrop of the Teton Mountains. It's like, okay. All right.
Oh, I got to sit through 30 seconds of ads.
Yeah, I know. That's annoying, isn't it?
So he's talking AI right now for
He
everybody.
is. Yeah.
Wow.
So, guys, we're listening in here to Morse here. He's talking like AI. He's like, he's not fear mongering, but he's pointing out some of the questions that are there on AI. It's interesting. It's funny to read the comments that you get here. I love watching the comments here. This is Warsh trying to sound intellectual while saying nothing. Well, I mean, yeah, he's going to largely say nothing, right? He's told us he's going to say nothing. That's his whole objective.
Yeah, see, Peter, I'm so glad I didn't get into that trade long.
Good. Yeah, we're getting a lot of market chop right now. Market is dropping a little bit here. Oh, Warsh is like, oh, he's talking about how he refuses to provide forward guidance.
Yep. Yep. Here's this case.
Yeah. I love this. I love the, again, commentary, Mike, where people are like at all different levels of knowledge and when you just get public guidance. He's basically saying, people are like, he's saying he's not providing guidance because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying he doesn't want the market to be beholden to that guidance. Now's not the time for that. Other people are commenting, who the hell is he to think he's setting policy because he's using the term policy. Well, he is setting policy. He's not setting public policy. He's not setting, a political agenda, but he is setting a policy of what the Fed is, Fed target interest rate is. That's an interest rate policy. He only has one policy that he gets to affect, basically. That's one number. All right, the federal interest rate. And that's it. So I guess that's a policy.
That's his job.
That's his job. He's got one. You got one job. So, anyways, it's fast. Fascinating.
Yeah. Big swings in the market.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of movement here.
Oh, I love that comment. Market participants should not solely look at the Fed for its next trade.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to get market direction here, Mike. I thought let's try a short of
Yeah.
Microsoft with the market dropping, but it popped back up, and I just again, I don't normally trade these active news things because it just depends on sentiment. So
Yeah, it's
it just got out, break even.
man. I guess he spoke and the market's down.
The market is going down. Yep.
Yeah.
Again, what I love, Mike, I'm again listening or reading the comments. Everybody's like, he's trying to put us to sleep. Why is this so boring? And I'm like, he's an economist. What do you expect?
What do you expect?
I mean, you don't hire an economist because he's a great speaker, and this is what I expect an economist to sound like. That's funny. Oh, he used the word extemporaneous. We're in trouble now.
Man, there's a big word, temporaneous.
Exactly. Extemporaneous. Again, you know you're in trouble as soon as he uses extemporaneous.
The Fed chair, Nikki. Sorry, missed the I. My eyes are bad.
Yeah.
Don't force it, Michael. That is my best advice on Fridays. Fridays can be the day where the market has already done what it's going to do for the week, so it gets very choppy. You have to be patient, wait for your setups, and be accepting that you may not get a setup, and don't take a trade.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you need to do. So
Oh. He's talking about how interest rate increases are his core tool. The market's, I'm expecting. Will the market like that? The market might not like that.
yeah. Yeah, Walsh today. Walsh was the wild card, right? Like Peter saved me from a trade. I had a great setup going in to take a long on the MES, and then Peter reminded me about Walsh, and I was like, "Whoa, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna trade the market, meaning the MES, until he speaks, so that I can see what happens." And this is why. If you are in boot camp, we will have our meeting today at noon
Good.
Eastern to get you prepped. I'll give you some details on what you can expect next week, the week going into the start of boot camp. So we will have that as well. We'll discuss that a little bit. If you are going to be in the Midwest or Kansas City area at the end of September, we do have a meetup. Feel free to sign up for that. Lots of good stuff goes on in KC. So if you do turn it into a weekend, plenty of stuff for you to do that weekend.
He just tried to make a joke. I love it. That's a good lame joke. That's an economist type joke.
Yeah.
I love it. Huh. I like all the content. Did he just try to be funny? Was that supposed to be a joke? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, he's an economist. It was he just said, you know, so what's happening in the real world? What's happening outside the window? It's ironic there's no windows in this room, but you know, what's happening outside? Like there you go. That's about as jokey as he's gonna get. I can pretty much guarantee you.
Oh, look at that. In the background, Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. I run by that almost every day.
Oh. Why does it have the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City? Is Jackson Hole's in Wyoming, isn't it?
Yeah. It's probably because the Federal Reserve of Kansas City is the one that had to put it on this year, right?
Oh, the different reserve sponsors
Yeah.
it or something. It's just whose budget it comes out of.
Whose budget it comes out of, who's got to task some poor soul with putting this thing together.
Right. whose team has got to do all the coordination and yeah.
Yep. They're like, you just got a new building. You get to do it this year.
Yeah. Well, Tesla's been moving down since this speech started, and from before a little bit. So it's towards low of day. Whereas
SpaceX has survived.
Yeah, Microsoft is holding up here too. So the market looks like it's going a little higher.
Uh-oh.
I tried to go long Microsoft just a minute ago. I was thinking that maybe we'll get an increase. Again, very tight stop. Went green immediately. Stop at break even. Stopped out. So I'm not messing with this because I mean the market's reacting to every little. I don't know what it's reacting to exactly, but I mean it's reacting to Warsh's comments, but it's hard to predict how, right? You guys are watching. Here's the Warsh is talking out there. I don't have license to show it, so I can't put it up on the screen. I'm not going to risk us our stuff getting banned by putting it on the screen. But oh, look at the turn down now. Look at this. Wow. Okay. Market's changing its mind. No, we don't like what he's saying now.
Yeah. It like went up and then it said, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
The market's doing exactly what we thought. Wash will talk and the market will move.
Yeah.
And then I have a feeling that it's going to get pretty stagnant afterwards.
Yeah, that's probably what our fate is for the rest of the day. We're going to see a lot of sideways movement. And
yeah.
Unfortunately.
199 components in PCE.
Yeah, it's tough when he's talking. It's all about interpreting those things he's trying not to say. Like it's one of those Fed rate announcement mornings, so you got to be careful. This is choppy. We like it. No, we don't like it. No, we do like it. No, we don't like what he's saying. I don't know. How do we feel? Mike, how do we feel?
You want to know how I feel?
How do you feel?
This. Bring my damn grocery prices and gas prices down. All the rest I could care less about. Like, I think that's what the average American right now cares about. Like, make my gas price go down and make my grocery prices go down. If you can do those two things, I will be happy.
Right.
All your other bullshit that you have that you want to talk and do and everything, shut the hell up, because I don't really care about it, nor do I really understand some of it.
Right. That's fair.
Like what impacts the people? Gas prices, groceries.
Yeah.
We saw it yesterday with Dollar General. Huge increase in their revenue. Well, why is that? Because people can't go to a normal grocery store to buy stuff. They got to go to.
They're buying those nearly expired
discount.
Cans of food.
Yeah, chicken noodle soup. I mean, damn, man. Like, it is not that hard. But so sorry. I went off on a tangent. I could just imagine if I was living in California, the gas prices. Like, I'm in the Midwest paying what I used to pay in California, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
Yeah.
And when gas prices and diesel prices are high, your food prices are going to be high too. Because in America, that's how food gets moved, by truck, whether you like it or not. I wonder.
He's happy for the solicited and unsolicited views he's been provided. So everybody's giving him advice. Yep. You know what you need to do? Oh, his comments are over, guys. All right. So
yours is ahead of mine.
So now it'll be interesting because the Q&A starts, and that could be.
No! Boom. Now we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, Ben.
What happened to my
shrinkage?
Feed here? Oh.
That is how businesses are trying to cope. And you can see it when you go to restaurants, when you go to grocery stores. They're trying to keep the prices somewhat similar to what you're used to and accustomed to, but you're getting far less than what you used to get.
I don't think he's doing a Q&A, Mike. He just said, we're done. Here's my
Another
fixed
panel.
comments. We're done. Yep. Okay, so
They brought up a whole panel.
I mean, that fits his tone, right? He's like, nope.
Yep.
You're not getting any more out of me. You're not going to catch me. I'm not going to say stuff that I, wasn't prepared to.
Holy cow, man. Oh, that is terrible inside. Oh my God, that is ugly. Oh. That's a fixer-upper. No wonder you're selling that thing for 250.
What are you looking at?
Oh, I was looking at houses in Overland Park.
All right, guys.
Bedrooms. What do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bedroom, 3 bath.
Yeah. I don't think he's that tied into the micro movements of the market, Bill Mao.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
He's like, I hope the market is not reacting to me. I'm trying to give you comments to tell you. You figure it out for yourself, man. I'm not doing it for you.
Holy cow. Yeah, those are all like the super new ones.
Wow, look at that pop higher on Microsoft. I should have stuck with Microsoft. When it got to VWAP, it bounced off of that. Oh my goodness. Maybe I shouldn't have. It just dropped a whole dollar.
I don't understand why you have 8 bathrooms in a house. Eight bathrooms. That must be a football player's house.
That's a lot of bathrooms.
All right. That is a lot of bathrooms.
All right. So, are we going to get some wild movements on the market? Are we going to settle down? I'm not sure. I just saw a big wiki candle on Microsoft hit up again, $1 candle. That was interesting. But everything else is pretty quiet here. Things are moving sideways.
Maybe we'll get this move back up, which might help out.
AMD, are you still in AMD? Are you out yet?
Yeah. Okay. I'm probably gonna get out here shortly. I'm gonna hold it till break even, so I'm in it till it stops me out. Okay. Or I get 465.
I'll tell you,
465.
Yeah, that 465. That's a pretty aggressive number to be holding for. So, all right,
I know.
I hope you get there, but
I doubt I will. Man, there are like no houses for sale over by me. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's a good thing if you're trying to sell yours. That means you can ask for a premium.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. 455. 500. This one kind of looks like mine. And that's pretty nice. Ours is still better. Oh, they don't have a finished basement. We have we've actually gotten quite lucky this last couple weeks. So there's a contractor that is working on the CPKC stadium, which is the soccer stadium here.
Yeah.
Doing upgrades or whatever, and they have like a 4-month contract with them, but they only get paid weekly. So every week they have to find a new place to stay because they're actually from the down in Dallas.
Okay.
So every Saturday or Sunday, they're looking for a place to stay from Sunday till the following Friday, right?
Oh, okay. Right.
Check out on Friday so they can pay a week. And so if your house is open during the week, they book it for the entire week. So we've had them come 2 or 3 times this time frame. So it's like, yeah, they like it. They're like, yeah,
Okay.
we love it.
Right.
Because there's 5 of the contractors and they
Right.
each get their own bedroom. So they're
Okay.
like, we are happy.
Yeah. And I guess they split the cost a lot cheaper than a hotel or anything else. They get the whole house. Yeah. Makes sense. As long as they're treating it well, not beating it up. So.
Yeah. No more than other people. My wife's pretty good too, man. Like we had this is the World Cup, so this is what you expect,
yeah. World Cup,
right?
is...
So somebody got so drunk they threw up in the sink and clogged the sink, and then threw up in the toilet and clogged the toilet.
Oh,
well, when the maids, so the maids have to clean this. I felt so bad for the maids. So the maids get it all clean. Well, the sinks have the stopper, right?
yeah.
That goes in it. Well, our stopper is a screw on, right?
Okay.
So you screw it and you open it. So clearly, while they were throwing up, they unscrewed it to try to think like that was going to get rid of the throw up, right? And into a sink, right? Fucking morons. Oh, sorry. I'm on YouTube. Well, we could never find the stopper.
Oh.
We're like, where's the stopper? So then when the next guests came in, they were like, hey, this one toilet's kind of slow on the flushing. And so they called us and said, hey, what do you want us to do?
Right.
So we went and we paid a plumber. We're like, hey, because I took a look at it. I'm like, hey, yeah, there's something wrong with it. Probably toilet paper, something's in the line or something that's preventing it.
It's the stopper, isn't it?
It's the stopper.
Of course.
Like, what are you thinking? So what does my wife do? She emails them, puts it on Airbnb. You caused this. It was this additional cost. I'm charging you this additional money. And they're like, yep, we're good with it.
Good for them. At least they owned it.
Yep. They're like, yep, we did that.
Damn. Okay. Well, that's good.
My wife's like, nope, I got pictures before, after. This was you. I know it was you. Because the maids took pictures of the bathroom, right? Because we asked them, hey, take pictures if anything's jacked up so that we have it. And then they take pictures at the end of their cleaning so we can tell if something gets broken, and then we charge the people that stay.
Right.
But my wife still feels like it's her home. To me, it's just it's a property. It's a business. Yeah, it's like, I don't care if they destroy it. Destroy it. I'm just going to charge you for it. So it's an ass pain that I got to fix it, but I'm charging you for it. So that's the way it goes. My wife still thinks it's like her home. And I'm like,
but she never actually lived in it, though, did she? You guys never lived in it.
Just while we were remodeling it for like 2 months. That was it. But never like, oh, hey, it's done. Let's live here. No, as soon as we remodeled it, we were out. Let's get out of here. It's too cold. Time to go to Europe. So the market did recover pretty significantly back to where it was before he started talking. So
yeah, it's right back up here where we were at 10 o'clock. So on both the SPY and the Q. So that's good.
But if we look, I mean, this is just, we're still just inside his range of talking, right? So we are inside his range of running his mouth.
The mouth running range.
Yeah, it's the mouth running range. So I will definitely need us to get above and then come back and find support and go at the top of this range here. That is a significant move, though, back up after he was done talking.
Yeah. Where's my...
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, if you look at the 30-minute on this, this is how long he talked. Here's the top of his comments. Here's the bottom of his comments. And now we're running up to the top of it, and we'll see what happens. It goes off of that. So,
all right, we got a couple of trades to share here. We can get to that. I am also short PayPal again. It looked like it was finally giving up here at this level, and I'm well into the green. Well, so I can just leave it for now. But yeah, we'll see. We'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, so trade Andrew's trading. Looks like some options here on NVDA. He got a move here on the options, and that was a good trade. We got Eamon. Oh, look at that. Eamon stuck to... Hey, he did what he said he was going to do. Remember we talked about this? He talked about a setup. He traded Microsoft. Looks like he got in and then got stopped out right at the open. Got in again, added a couple of times, and was able to take partials up to the top. So great move for Eamon there on his trade. And I'm actually just going to take a partial here on PayPal. Sorry. So let me just do that. Okay. Let's keep going with our trades. SMCI, we've got Kyle. Oh, it's Kyle who will be here. He can talk about this to you live in a couple of minutes. Looks like he got long on SMCI, his favorite stock, eh? Got in. He must have added, although it's probably hidden. Oh, no, maybe this is the ad that happened a little bit later at 9:40. So got in, partial, added when it spiked down, and now he's sitting well into this. I don't know if he's still in it, but that was the trade. Paul, as a member of the community, got in. Wow, look at this. All in, all out, it looks like. John must have loved this one. Looks like some SPY contracts here that he was trading, so that's good. We've got BB Fasher, another community member who got in on ServiceNow. Looks like he got in, took a couple of bucks, got out with some partials on that one. We've got Aria Bascara, who's another community member. Wow, a lot of trading here. I assume this is in, partial, stop out at break even. Another entry, partialed all the way up. Probably an ad here. Oh, this is all on Intel. So that's good to see. And nice that they were able to get some of that movement action. We've got, where's Tains? Oh, this is a little hard to read. So looks like some options contracts again here on NVIDIA. Wow, managed to nail the low here, pretty close, and then partialed all the way up. I wonder how many contracts they had. This is quite a number of partials, so had at least 5 contracts to be able to do that. And another Intel trade, Geralt, who's out of Discord, got in after sort of chased this move, but hey, got it, stuck with it, partialed again, and got a strong move on that. Last but not least, we got AGK, who's posted a couple of trades on Discord over the last little while, and they've got some moves here. Oh, I just realized we got a frozen picture of Eamon on the screen. I didn't even realize that. We should put Mike back. Anyways, and they were trading CRM in here and got a move and was able to take advantage of that. So good moves and good trades from everybody. Congratulations to all those that traded. Thank you so much for sharing your trades. We really appreciate that. That helps us see what the community is all about and what you're doing. In the meantime, I'm still in this. Oh, no, that's AMD. Unfortunately, PayPal is moving back on me, but here's PayPal. You can see my trade here. And you can see I tried a couple of times to get a short, stopped at break even, tried again here, added a little aggressively. I wish I had a better ad on that, but it's one of those where, like you're mentioning, Mike, it's on SSR, so it took a while to fill. So unfortunately, by the time I got a pullback, it had already moved down here farther than I had hoped, and that's what's moved my average down, as you can see here, to 54.31. But we'll see if we can hold into this. If we get a new low, 54 is where I'd like to take my next partial. 54 or lower. We'll see if we get back there. Hopefully it doesn't come back up and stop me out. But if it does, well, you know what? It won't be the first time, because I've been trading this like crazy, by the way, we've been talking. You want to see? Look, I don't know if you can see all these little... Here, let me see if I can... Let's make them bigger for you. Triangle size. Here, now you can see them. Look at that. Another day where I've decided to go crazy. I decided to trade PayPal. Force myself into the trade. So there you go. So a whole bunch of trading going on here for me on PayPal. And looking to see if I can get this. So, I mean, I obviously love a great move all the way down to VWAP would be fantastic. Back to where I started the trades. But I don't know that's going to happen. Again, I'm trading a much tighter range now, and PayPal, it still shows orders that it wants to fill to the downside, but it's getting a little more balanced when I look at the Atlas level 2. So we'll see, see what happens with it. Mike, you're
so for those, we're above that, but Apple. Here, let me pull up Apple on the screen that you're sharing. So for those of you that are paying attention to Apple, yes, Apple's breaking out. Just be cautious of this 320 area between 319 and 320. I'm scrolling out. This has been the area it's rejected over the past week or so. So just be cautious right around this area. If you can get a continuation set up through this area, could be good. If you're a short trader, also a potential area to short. As for me, we got the break that I was looking for of this 7760. Now I want to see what we do here in the next 5 minutes. Are we actually going to come test this level? Was this the pullback we're going to get? And then are we going to push higher? So we'll see what we do. Watching the SPY. The SPY seems to like this level. If you look at the SPY, interesting couple levels on the SPY here. So this blue line and this blue line was CPI data from a week ago, and this is the PCE data, or the PCE data. So we're inside that area again, and this is where, if we look on the daily, got to zoom in on this though. This is kind of the area where we broke out before, right? And then kind of found resistance. Where we started to fall down. So that's why I want to see if we can continue, if we can find the support. If we can do that, then I will look to possibly get into an MES trade here. Probably top of the hour, maybe a little bit after the top of the hour. And play with that through the day. But I want an entry down around 7760. So we will see off of that.
Well, I don't like the support that PayPal is getting here. That's unfortunate, but we'll see what happens.
Google. I like bringing up Google on this. So Google's a fun one to look at. Remember, we're in this range from when it was announced that Berkshire Hathaway was buying. The upper area is 350. Lower range is 340, 339. You can see we got down there, and now we're pushing back up. So 350 is probably a good target on Google. Wow. We'll see where it goes, and then see if it breaks higher or if it goes back down to that 340. So a good good setups for our range traders here that like range. So
Belmont, I just traded the whole month of September. Yeah, that is a lot of trades for me. But some days are like that.
that's a rough Friday journaling.
It is. I'm gonna have. I mean, it's all on the same stock, so I'll be able to leverage some commentary here. But yeah, especially rough if this goes and stops me out, because then I'm not going to make my money back. But anyways, we'll find another opportunity. Market pushing higher right now. Both the SPYs and the Qs heading up.
Amazon's grinding away. That's the look at Amazon. Amazon very strong today. I did not have that on my list. NVIDIA, AMD, Google. Yeah, Google 350. I'd anticipate some struggling at 350 on Google, SpaceX. I don't know what to say about SpaceX. Seems like it wants 150, but it seems like it's got to find some buyers before it can run that up there. So well, let me pull up the MES because that is what I am watching. We might get a nice run for the rest of the day.
We might.
We got through this breakout. This breakout has just about as much as the opening 5-minute candle. Got volume at 12,829. 18,000. Yeah, just so slightly lower, but holding nicely with no real pullback. I thought we'd get a pullback at least. But yeah. When your setup doesn't appear, you let it run. Meta? I don't have Meta on my screen. Let me see. Meta. Oh, yeah, look at Meta. Meta reeling from the great news of that settlement that it had.
I just got stopped out on PayPal. So there we go. Out of that trade. My ad was too aggressive, clearly. We'll see if it goes back up to my original entry. But, I mean, the market, of course, is pushing against PayPal, so it's going to get swept up in the tide.
There's Apple at 320. 320. Let's see what we do. Apple. That's another one that I wouldn't mind taking. Short or long, depending on what it does.
Which one? Apple?
Oh. Yeah. At this 320 area.
Yeah, 320 is a big area for it. Has been for a while. It does look like there's.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it wants. Well, Apple's always hard to tell because orders can sit on Apple forever, like days and days and days, without being taken. So there's a lot of orders, at all the whole dollars up, the chain, 321, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Three, 20, 30.
Patience. Apple's fairly tibbly low on the R-ball right now. Whoever was asking, they're only at 61%. So see what we get here.
Apple over the high, so set a new high.
Yeah.
Watching to see what Apple's going to do as it gets to that high. And of course, as it broke through, I know that it's not ready for a short.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh. Forward to getting up and stretching. I woke up late. My wife didn't go into the office. She took the day off work today. So she was sleeping in, which is not something I'm used to. And so I woke up and she's like, "Hey, don't you need to go do the pre-market show?" I'm like, "No, I better go." Jumped up, ran down here, had to get everything configured. Then we had some tech issues, as always. Seems like there's always something. So, but here we are. So yeah, I didn't get my breakfast.
Look at that. See? The chair spoke and now the market did something.
Yeah. Yeah, this is moving higher here post comments. So and guys, I mean, this is what we were talking about, and why Mike was saying, for instance, once he knew, right, that the Fed was speaking, why you don't want to be jumping into too many trades, because we know that there's going to be uncertainty and low volume heading into Fed conversation. Now that the Fed presentation and speech is over, the market, says, okay, that wasn't too bad, right? Nothing unexpected. We can go on our merry way. And that seems to be exactly what's happening. It's just moving merrily higher. I mean,
back up to all-time highs.
I'm assuming the market's merry. It looks merry to me.
All-time highs. All-time highs.
I mean, that's not good for your AMD trade.
To be going. No, not good for that. But I made enough money off the AMD trade, so
well, there you go.
to me, it's just
fun now.
Screwed up yesterday not getting out. So right. I anticipated getting out. So now it's if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well.
That's fair. Whatever happens, happens at this point, right?
Yep. That's when you can get to that point, that's when you can make good decisions in the market.
Right.
Atlas not matching chart. I got Apple. Did I screw something up? Apple. Atlas is Apple.
At that. I would have still been in PayPal if I just had my original entry.
Is it busting up or down, Obi-Wan?
Hey, guys.
Going up or down?
Hey, welcome back, Eamon.
Thank you. Hello. How are you doing?
It's been a busy morning for me. I've been trading just trading a lot for no apparent reason, really. But some days.
One of those Fridays.
It's one of those Fridays for me. Yeah, for sure. So
yeah.
Here we are, and we should have Kyle joining at some point soon. He's probably out there.
There he is. Yeah, he just joined us.
Okay,
he's gonna have a red light on. It sounds like.
Oh no! Oh, I'm green.
Yeah.
He doesn't He doesn't have a camera on at all, but
I
hold on a sec.
I'm here. I promise.
There he is. There he
I can
is.
see your beautiful faces.
Yeah. No, it was me. It was me. So let's we got to get Kyle in here so that we can all talk together here. Hold on a sec.
There we go.
Oh, hey, we need to have a discussion. We need to have a
Can-
serious discussion.
Yeah, can you meet us at the coffee shop at 10 o'clock tomorrow?
Yeah, here we go. There we go.
Just
See,
a couple
now we got the
of things I
whole
want to
gang.
talk to you about. Yeah. David,
There
how
we
are
go.
you? You got 100 reviews on your book, I saw. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yes, we are over the 100 reviews right now.
All right.
So thank you everyone who took a couple minutes of their precious times to write an honest review for the book. You guys are the best.
Peter, when's your brother-in-law coming on? Or sorry, that's your cousin.
Cousin.
That's cousin.
Tuesday.
Next week, right?
Tuesday at 10:30.
Okay.
Tuesday.
All
He'll be
right.
here. So yeah. Well, that'll be good. Looking forward to
What's
that.
his book called again? I'll have to.
Trading
Is it on Amazon?
outside the box. Here it is right here.
All right. Trading outside the box. All right.
Outside the
Amazing.
box. So
Shameless plug.
yeah, absolutely.
No, that'll be good.
It's seriously, it's a good book. I have to admit, I'm about halfway through. I mean, it's dense. There is a lot of stuff going on in here, but
Well, he spent a lot of time on it for sure.
there's one. I mean, we'll probably talk about it in the interview. Right in the very first chapter, he actually gives some examples before the first chapter and a bunch of principles to look at, which is interesting or to think about, because this book is about thinking about thinking about the thinking of trading, right? Not just thinking about trading, thinking about how you think about trading, which is interesting. But anyways, the analogy he gives, it's like you can attend. So he said, if you're a writer, you can attend all the writing classes you want in the world, and yes, it'll give you better technical capability, and it'll in some degrees make you better. But there's no guarantee you'll ever be a successful writer by attending all these writing classes. And trading is the exact same way. We can give you all the teaching and everything you want. There's no guarantee that you're going to be a great trader. And I actually love that analogy. It's not one that I've used or seen before, but it really made me think, yeah, because there's people who can be technically, great writers, but it doesn't mean you got to combine the writing with the ideas, with the dialogue, and it's got to capture the public's, sort of imagination at any given point in time. Whereas trading is a lot the same way. You got to combine the technical skills with the right timing in the market, with the right perspective and views. And unless you can put all that together, there's no guarantee in it. Anyways, it was fascinating to me. So a lot of concepts like that we'll explore more deeply next week. So there you go. If you're interested,
Amazing.
Yeah, trade outside the box.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
actually looking forward to that interview.
Is last question about that? Is it on Amazon or is it just?
Yes, it is.
It is on Amazon. Okay,
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll get the
Come on.
link on Tuesday then, I'm sure, when he's here.
You can just go look it up. Trade outside the box. Brent Donnelly is the name. Should be able to find it on Amazon. I'd
All
give
right.
you the Amazon link. The problem is that my links are all Canadian, and I find that they don't tend to work when U.S. people try.
I could find it. I could find it actually.
There. All right.
We'll pop it up.
Anyways. All right. Well, with
All
that,
right, guys. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. We will hand it over to you and let you take the show from here. I've got to get things set up, of course, because we haven't had both you and Eamon on all week. So
I know.
You
it's
see,
been
the
one
golden
of
duo is
those
back.
where- yeah, I gotta
Golden duo.
reset everything up so that we can make it work. And you can go, Mike. Thanks as always, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Mike.
Whatever you
Yeah.
choose to do, get some rest.
Go close those eyes
Absolutely. Take care.
if you can. All right. Thanks, Mike.
All right.
All right, thank you guys. And YouTube, Kyle, hello. Kyle, how are you doing? How was your time off?
I am great, honestly. I'm in like probably the best spot of my life right now. I'm trading well. My wife's back to work today.
That's so happy moment, right?
The kid's good. We got one of her old students is actually going to come over and just babysit him for a couple hours because P Capital's starting right away. So she's going to be here for like 2 to 3 hours in the mornings, just so I can do some P Capital. And life's good. I had a good trade on SMCI. This stock just continues to just give me gifts every single day. I traded some futures on my top step. Honestly, I just feel great. I just feel
Good
really
job.
good.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
How are you?
I am doing great. I mean, yesterday I had internet connection issues, so I missed YouTube. I mentioned this in the chat room. I hit a -2R on NVDA because I decided to. And by the way, guys, take a lesson from me. Don't do the exact same thing. I decided to trade using my hotspot connection, and it was so slow. I think I had around 4 to 8 seconds delay. I jumped into the trade. I got a bad feel. I realized that there is some delay, but I was like, okay, I'm in it. Let me see if it's going to hit my stop loss. Obviously, it went to my stop loss. I hit the send button, and my order got filled a few seconds later. So it's okay. I mean, I hit my -2 hours yesterday. It wasn't that big. Called it a day. And today we traded Microsoft. Uh, I'm sure you guys already heard my plan. I was talking about it with Peter. During the pre-market, we were drawing levels for these things, and I told you today is the day for Microsoft. We've been holding below this level for a long time. We had an amazing day yesterday. And look at the hourly chart. If I zoom out the hourly chart on this thing, you could see that there it is. This is the zone that we held for around 10 days. We broke above it, we retested it, and we broke above it yesterday, and now we're flagging. And there is literally nothing ahead of us, all the way to 513, except for this level. So I just decided to hold it up until there. That was my largest partial. This was just 5% of my position left. I saw a big order on Atlas at 515, but I decided to go and have my lunch before I jumped into YouTube. Came back, noticed that I skipped the 515, and apparently my limit order was sitting not at 515, it was 551. So I came back and I just saw that it's pulling back from 550, and I just decided so that's okay, just a few pennies. Sometimes you gotta pay attention where your targets are. And by the way, guys, on my swing trading account, I am also long on Microsoft. And I'm long on this thing since $400. Let's see if it fills my $520 target today. That would be 30% gain in a swing trade in a couple months. I mean, I'm not gonna say no for 30% profit in 2 months. I mean, 15% monthly doesn't get any better than that.
You picked that nicely too. That was the one
It-
Andrew was in too, right?
I don't really.
Microsoft?
I don't really. Today, I don't think Andrew was
No,
in
I think
Microsoft. I
he
think he
had
was in
puts,
Meta.
didn't he? Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. So anyway,
Good one.
this is actually amazing. Both swing trade on Microsoft is doing well. Day trade on Microsoft is doing well. I still have one trade to execute. We'll see if we find something interesting today. We'll end up trading it. But Microsoft probably headed to 515 within the next few days, maybe the next couple weeks. I'm not gonna hold it all the way up there. 520. Sell it. Move on.
Congrats, buddy. Good. That's a beautiful trade.
Yep.
I
I mean, I'm happy
sent
about it. Thank you.
I'll send you my trades here.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
I traded the Qs today and SMCI here. Where are you?
Let's see.
That's my Q trade. And then SMCI. You have any plans this weekend?
If you got a screen you want to share, Kyle, we can make that happen too. You know.
Oh,
really?
We can figure. Okay, that would be actually good.
Here, just
We'll
take
be
those
able
ones.
to reach out. Let me just. Mm-hmm. Are you going to share it or should I open the screenshot?
No, I just do the SMCI for today. Maybe next week we can do the. That's okay.
All right.
I already sent them to you. That's all good. This is just a nice 5-minute opening range breakup on SMCI. I anticipated it a little bit, but I had a really nice level drawn up from my buddy's book, Multiple Time Frame Analysis. Always look at the 30, the 60-minute chart. There was a nice level at 38.90. So that was my initial target. I added a little bit too heavy, and then I got out of it at 38.70. It started to roll over on me. So that was a good trade. That was about 3R. And then I actually shorted the Qs at 10.05 I was anticipating a 5-minute opening range breakdown. I almost got stopped out on this, and then it actually turned into a break and retest for me. and I added to my position on the Qs and just rolled this thing all the way to the downsides, all the way till 717. And then I got stopped out at break even on the Qs trade. So 2 trades, 2 for 2. Honestly, I feel good. And then after that, honestly, I was gonna take one more trade. I still have a couple bullets in the chamber, but I'm having a little bit of FOMO over the Qs right now, to be honest, pushing to the upside here, but that's okay. It's one thing I learned from Carlos, and I think you mentioned it too a long time ago. Like, never turn like a green Friday into a red Friday because it just ruins your whole weekend. So, yeah, I'm 2 for 2. I feel good. Life is good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Good job, Day.
Thank
Anything
you.
you're watching at the moment?
I was kind of watching. What was it? Iron was the popcorn stock of the day. No, honestly, not really anything. There's nothing on my radar. Um, no. What about you?
No, nothing. I came from a small break, so I thought you're going to give me something to trade, so the blame on you. I'm kidding. Uh, Guys, YouTube, what are you watching? By the way, PayPal. PayPal.
Oh
I was
yeah,
short
Peter's at
bias on this
PayPal, right?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was short bias on it. I wanted to take a short on it at the open. I think 931. Yeah, I think around 931. I literally wanted to pull the trigger on this thing to the short side.
Well,
What stopped me out?
be glad you didn't, because I did, and that was
You did?
yeah, I did, and I got a initial loss because it just went higher, and then I kept
Oh.
trying to force it. Was my whole trading day. So, be glad you
To
didn't.
be fair, this is the trigger that I usually am looking for. I identify a mini consolidation area and then I wait for the price to break to the opposite direction. And then see it reclaiming the middle, telling me that there are traders that are trapped. And the success rate on this thing is really good. And I was literally about to pull the trigger around here. I hesitated for just a few seconds, and then it came back above the range. This hesitation for a few seconds just made me miss the trade. And then after that, it never got back to the entry zone. This was literally the entry zone around here for me. So I think I got lucky more than a decision making, just few seconds.
You like it though, like on the 2 minute candle when it comes down and kind of retests the entry, don't you? Or the pre-market low? Isn't that some kind of
No,
a trigger for you?
so basically, if the price breaks and it goes to the middle of the range, that's my trigger. That's my entry. If it goes to
Right.
the opposite side of the range, that's where I add and I move my stop loss to my entry, just doubling the position and moving
Okay.
the stop loss. So the original plan on PayPal was short it here, add around here, target this area around here, and then if it makes it all the way down here, that would be an amazing bonus. Obviously, just retested the middle and squeezed.
Went the other
I
way.
think, yeah, it went the other way. I'll keep an eye on it for a short if we break above the high of the day and fail. I'm looking for a final push on this thing. But we'll see. I'm not gonna force it. One of the things that I do at this time of the day, I'm not hunting a trade. I just watch price action. And
Mm-hmm.
if something sets up and is attractive, I'll take it. I found that during this time of the day, if I actively look for a trade, I end up trading stuff that are not good. So for me personally, the day is done and I'm not actively looking for a trade. But if something presents itself to me, I might pull the trigger.
Fair enough. These Jackson Hole meetings, do you know much about them? I thought, weren't they like a super secretive meeting for a long time? I think you guys talked about it on the pre-market show. Is that true?
Actually, Peter was talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, way back when they were like originally they were one of these supposed to be like secret gathering of the the
Elites.
economic and financial minds of the U.S. and they did it in
Oh.
Jackson Hole because it was a nice private location. Well, with the advent of instant media and everybody being online, it's not quite so secret anymore. Obviously, because we're talking about it. So.
Sorry if I missed you earlier. I think you did talk about it. I kind of missed it.
It's a long time ago that it used to be, sort of a secret thing. I mean, we've known about Jackson Hole for decades now, so it's not But but there was a point at which media wasn't invited, and it was supposed to be because picture. I actually I don't even know. I'd have to go and look. I honestly don't know the history as to how long they've been meeting in Jackson Hole. But I mean, picture back in the day, they probably had to like go by train or something, right, to get there. Like I honestly think
Right.
it's been a very long time that they've been doing it, but I don't really know the history here.
Got it. Oh, USMC, that's what it is. It's Jekyll Island. That's the one I'm thinking of. This is like a secret. I mean, this is a little bit tinfoil hat. We're off of the beaten path
well,
here a
that's a
bit,
whole
but
different thing, but yeah.
that's a different ball game. Yeah. That's okay. Peter, are you still in PayPal or are you out of it?
No. No. So
You're out of it. Okay.
yeah, I got out of it a while back because wow, see, they started meeting the first recorded history. No, that was a permanent settlement happened in 1884. When did they start meeting with the Fed? There.
Peter, you also look great. You have a great camera. You're like in 8K right now. I don't know why I look a little bit foggy, but you look incredible.
Usually, if you're looking on your own screen, for whatever reason, it puts your own display pretty bad. It really does. I don't know why. So,
Okay.
but
No, sorry, I was just laughing at your wave. It was a bit delayed. I saw it on YouTube.
oh, okay.
All right, fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know. Oh, so they 1981. So they started meeting in 1980. It wasn't as long ago as I thought. So never mind. They all flew in.
All right.
But,
There were no horse chariots, horse buggies.
no, there was no horse buggies in it's a while ago. It's not that long ago. I was around in 1981, so it's not that long ago. I thought it was a lot longer that they've been meeting there. So never mind.
All right.
All right, I'll
Well,
leave you guys
thank you.
back to it.
All right. Thank you. Peter looks Canadian. Peter is Canadian, so am I.
How do I look
So
Canadian?
that's what I was just thinking. Like, what does that even mean?
All right.
Yeah, guys, what does it mean to look like a
I
Canadian?
look like a moose. All right. Well, we got two Canadians on here right now, so
That's right.
Yeah, and an outcast.
you're balanced,
All right.
Simon. You bring balance.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to balance it a little bit. All right, so yeah, let's see, guys, what you had questions. I see you named a lot of tickers that you wanted us to take a look at. So let's take a look at some of them. One of you is calling Netflix. Netflix is interesting. Netflix is probably a play for the next week, but yeah, for today it already did its move. We are sitting around the selling zone. If you're looking for a reversal, it's too late. If you're looking for a long, then good luck. I think it's also too late. Maybe if you want to play a reversal, wait for a fake break of the high of the day. Wait at least for a 15-minute reversal candlestick and then play it. But that's just my take on it. Do not force it. Do not take my word for it. It just feels that it's the move is gone on this thing. Then we have Apple. By the way, Apple was also one of the stocks that was on our watch list, and it also did exactly what we were talking about. Today, I had Apple on my watch list to the long side. I had Microsoft and I had NVDA to the long side. And I told you that if one of them works, all of them probably are going to work. But you can see that NVDA did not do that. Luckily, I did not end up picking NVDA. And I decided to focus only on one of the three, the one that would give me the best possible price action at the open. Apple, look at these guys. It was sitting below this consolidation area for like 5 to 6 days. And we did discuss the average true range. We even discussed that the potential final target and it is around 320. I just did not like how big this first minute candlestick was. I was watching it so wiki, both ways, doji, and I decided to stick to the Microsoft stock, which was beautiful. Small candlestick right above the breakout area. Anyway, going back to Apple, it's already past its average true range, and I don't think it would be wise to look at this stock for a reversal literally the first day after it broke a multi-month level. Even the pullback on it is going to be small, I think. Then one of you is calling Coast. I don't know about Coast. This thing is just ugly on the daily chart.
Something to note on
good
Apple
job.
too. Look at the candle, the doji that was thrown at 10:45. I love seeing this. This isn't a full like break and retest, but it clears the opening range, gives you a nice hammer at like 1044, and then boom, look at the volume at 1045, and away she goes. Holds the 9 moving average all the way. What's the ATR on Apple? $4?
$6, six
Is
to
it
seven
six?
dollars, and 6 to 7, yeah, and it's exactly sitting around its ATR value right now. And
Right.
by the way, good note, Kyle. This is going to call an ignition volume. You get a stock forming the high of the day, consolidating for a whole day, and then when it breaks with this huge volume, it usually, if it is an actual trend, you should not go below it. So you could utilize ABCD patterns, bull flags, whatever there is for your entry. This is also really good break of the high of the day setup, confirmed by this volume candlestick at what's this 1041. I think I really want to I really want to see that John actually traded this one. I think this means he's trading beautiful stock, clean high of the day, all great patterns all over the place, volume before the break. I think this is exactly what he's looking for. The only question is whether he was around to catch it or not.
And if he
But
partialed or
definitely
not.
good one. Yeah, I mean definitely an interesting one to watch.
I like
Now
seeing those. I think you
the
mentioned to me
the
when we first started together
mhm,
that ignition volume. When you see that ignition volume, that's when I know you just mentioned it, but that's when
mhm.
you can really see a nice clean ABCD setup when you get nice ignition
Exactly.
volume. Yeah.
Exactly. Normally, if it is an actual trend, you do your analysis starting with the higher time frame and it breaks with an ignition volume, it never goes below the candlestick that ignited. I mean, where is this candlestick? There it is. You see, this is it, 1044. That's where it ignited. And you see, it usually never goes below it. So what you could do is you could go for an aggressive entry the moment you see it's holding around it with a stop loss right below it. Risk to
Hmm.
reward wise, sometimes it's enormous. Sometimes it just makes a small move and then it fails. But you don't want to end up catching this whole move. 3 to 1, 4 to 1, all and out.
And for you guys on YouTube, like these are the things that you like the little hidden gems. You show up every single day and you learn these little things, ignition volume and things like that, and you implement that into your own trading style, right? So that's why you're showing up. And, I get a lot of emails just like about, this is the success of whatever, the funded account. Just show up, right? Just show up and pick, like I was saying yesterday, just take things from certain people, back test it a little bit, put it into your trade book, and then that's where you'll start to find some successes. You don't want to have too many variables inside of your trading, but when you learn things like this, it's just another indicator like Atlas, right? Like level two. When you see this ignition volume, if you're a break a high trader, like Eamon's talking about John, it's checking another box for you that it's a green light, that this is a good setup for you to take. So just keep showing up and doing the right things.
Exactly. Exactly, guys. And we don't throw a lot of information every day, but if you attend here every day, every second day you might pick up something interesting. Uh, what about Nike? I have no idea about this thing. The weekly on this thing is slowly going down. The daily chart is off ugly as well. Already made the move, and I think it's already past its average true range. The average true range of Nike is around $1.13, and we made almost that full move. If it's going to continue going higher, it's probably 39.40, maybe 45, which is also good level. 50-ish if you stretch it out. But I don't see any good risk to reward ratio playing the continuation on it. And then finally, we guys have PLTR. Yes, I can see that it's breaking higher. This is the time of the day where you're either in a good trend or you are in nothing and you have no idea what to do. For me, I have no idea what to do now.
Me neither. I'm just playing around with my lights. It's weird. It is kind of, yeah, I am a bit foggy, hey? Well, I have this off topic quickly, like this little dome light off to my front left. So I wonder if that's making my camera foggy because I have a decent 4K camera. But anyways, I'll play around with that later. Hmm. Do you have any like
Oh,
spotlights in front of you?
no, it's off. Let me turn it on. There it is. Now I just turned it on, but I don't like this thing. Wait, give it a couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1, and there it is. That's it.
Okay.
I don't like it in front of me.
Yeah, it is bright. Interesting. I'll have to play around with this. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
let me turn it off, guys. Sorry about that. Or let me put it like this. That's better.
Hmm.
Clean the camera lens with the Windex. Nice advertisement.
you're both foggy. Oh, that's weird. Carlos and the other guys always look clear. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's
Well,
us.
Carlos uses a professional camera. I have it also. It's a battery pack, but you see, it's annoying to switch to charge this camera every couple hours, maybe every hour. So sometimes I just get bored of that thing and I switch it to the uh, sorry, and I switch it to
Webcam.
the normal, exactly with the webcam. I can plug that other thing in and you'll see the quality is a different thing.
Oh, you have the big 4K camera on top.
Yep, with the good
Nice.
lens. But
Um,
yeah,
anyways, uh, where are all the
I
guys
don't
in the
think
chat?
it's worth. I don't think it's worth just doing a lot for an hour stream. Sure, just getting quality a little bit better.
Right.
We'll see. Maybe one day.
Iron. Yeah, I don't really
Crowd,
see
beautiful
anything I
reversal.
like, to be honest.
Yeah, Iron is not good, but Crowd was interesting reversal. I would not have caught it, obviously, because by 114.20 it already made half of the move.
Oh, the Qs are they're going higher.
Did the market like what
724.
Kevin Warsh was talking about?
I think so. Obviously, I mean, based on what we're seeing after around 10, 10:35 or so, I think it was good news. Let's have a look here, Mr. Kevin Walsh.
I mean, do you trade options? I used to trade them, and I trade options just for leverage to go in heavier. Then I got bored of it, and I get back to trading stocks. I just found that by the time you end up picking the right strike, the expiration date, etc., calculating the share size, most of the move is gone. So I just stick to stocks. But I do work with a few mentees who are trading options and they're doing well. There is not much difference between trading options and trading stocks. In fact, if you want to trade options, I usually suggest starting with stocks and then moving on to options and not doing it the other way around. Dan is asking, would you take long SMCI and out VWAP?
Let's have a look here. SMCI. I'm not a VWAP squeeze guy, but honestly, I do like seeing when the 200 moving average is underneath it. But wait for the double bottom on the 5 minute chart. That's something that I really implemented. I do like the doji on the 5 minute chart that I just threw, but I tend to not um, trade around this time, to be honest. But give it another give it another 15 minutes maybe. Honestly, I like seeing the afternoon volume come in just because the volume dies off so much around this time, especially the way that I trade. Like I need that volume and the momentum a little bit more for my style of trading. And I find after, it's 9:30 my time, so another half an hour is quote unquote the afternoon session. So you get, maybe 25 to 30% more volume. And that usually helps out with my style of trading. So yeah, I wouldn't touch this right now.
True. It's a little bit ugly, this at the moment.
Nicki Minaj, hello Kyle. Can you check my Discord to show my stats? Yeah, I can do that. I'll have a peek after our YouTube session just because I don't want to be on my phone while I'm doing this. But from what I did see yesterday, you're doing a really good job.
Yeah, I've seen your results in trade sooner than you're doing great. Good job, Nicki Minaj.
Just don't change anything up. Don't size up. Don't go crazy when you go live because I'm pretty sure you're just doing the simulator right now. So it looks like you've been, back testing and doing your homework for the last what 3 to 6 months. So take a stab at it. Go with the funded account. It's not financial advice. Don't always listen to me, but I think you got a pretty good grip on it.
Thank you. Ayman, how do you manage your stop loss for Microsoft when swing trading? I don't use stop loss. I don't. My swing trades are more of a investing type of swing trading. I don't swing trade on any stock out there that looks like a good uh, setup to swing. I only have a handful of names: Microsoft, Apple, NVDA, Amazon, Netflix. Anyway, strong companies, one of the best that have been there around the 90s, that survived all the crashes and that are only going to the upside. So I buy these companies after they drop 40 to 50% and I hold for the recovery.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj, I think you're ready for the take a stab at the funded account and just try and get a payout. Like that's kind of what I preach all the time, right? Like just get a payout and then go into peak capital. Oh my God, my dog's. I have to let my dog go. 1 sec, sorry.
Yeah, my compassion, it doesn't mean that you want that you should not have stop loss in any single trade that you do. I know what I'm doing, and this is just type of trading style. I have a risk management system for it. I break my swing trading account into a few parts. Uh, I do it on multiple stocks, but anyway, don't just jump into any swing trade or stock that you feel confident about and not have a stop loss on it. I've been doing this since 2021, swing trading, using this style, and it's been working well.
We switched my dog's dog food, and he is not having a good time doing it. His stomach is a little upset. Discord link. Yeah, I can get you. Do you have the Discord link handy, Eamon? I can get it.
Yes, I'll bring it now. 1 second. There you go, guys.
And like Nicki Minaj is doing in the chat room, right? Like myself, Eamon, Andrew, we're all pretty active in there. So if you guys share your trades in there, and if you guys want some feedback, I mean, it's not just going to come from us. So there's a lot of, I think there's over 1,000 members now, so you'll get some feedback from somebody. But yeah, just be open to it. And I mean, if you want it, it's there. So if you want to share your trades, do it. I've had a couple actually mentees. They're like, "Oh, I'm scared to share my trades in a public group." Nobody cares. Like we're all here to grow together. Just share them, right? You're gonna get some feedback. That's how you grow as a trader, especially if someone has a similar style to you, and that's really the goal of getting feedback. Is you want to be open, have a clear mind, and don't let it affect your ego, right? If someone says it's a bad entry, you don't have to lose sleep over it. That's just their opinion. You don't have to uh, take it too much to heart. But there might be some feedback that actually helps you. So just be open to feedback, right? It's the same. It's not only just with trading, but with life. Like that's how you grow as an individual too, right? Being open to someone's feedback is how we all grow. If you're scared to share, then I think you're making bad choices. 100%, Pat. Well done. I'm not in SMCI. No, I got out at what was I? I was all out at 10:44 on my SMCI trade. How can I journal my options, entries, and exits? Mine look like Christmas lights.
Well, the first thing to do is not to focus on journaling, is getting your trading charts in order. When you have a lot of trades, journaling is useful. Like, what are you going to journal? 100 trades a day? It will take you a
Mhm.
lot of time to write it down, and you're not never going to go to look at it. So at this stage, especially if you're taking a lot of trades, do it visually. Try to figure out what mistakes you're doing visually and try to limit the amount of trades that you are taking. And then slowly build more and more and more rules. And eventually it's going to be less.
Timothy, is it better to sell Tesla or buy it at the moment? I mean, it's pretty extended from VWAP, to be honest, but it looks, I would say it's still rolling over a little bit. I'd say for this move right now that we're sitting, it'll probably come back down and retest the 351 area. We're at S3, so it'll probably come down a little bit more. And then look for the double bottom that we talk about on the 5-minute chart. And then you can maybe try and find something, but that's my opinion.
Anyway, I was playing the continuation today on PLTR. It was ranging on the 60-minute pre-market. I see that. And on the 5-minute chart as well, but get shut out during the morning chop. What was still good on it? I do not like these type of 5-minute charts during the pre-market. You need to either form a tiny consolidation area or hold the level of support. If I were to play PLTR, it would have been somewhere around here. Maybe with an add around here and a stop around here, and that would have been it for me. So it looked decent, obviously, but yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, to be fair. I like Microsoft more. But the only entry, like I was saying, somewhere around here. If you manage to get in there, that's good. If you missed this entry and you are looking for an entry around here, then probably you should not have taken this trade, because an entry around here is already on an extended move. That was somewhere around $3 to $4 move after the open, and PLTR just has $6 ATR. So half of the move was done within the first candles.
And that's something, especially for my style of trading, I like the old me would still look for opening range breakups inside of that chop, right? Like because I like to draw my opening range for the first 3 candle or 5 candles, I would continue, 940. I would try and buy that next pop up, but the first candle, the ATR has already been done. So that's why you need to be patient and then just look for an entry later on, like that 10. And it's, again, hindsight's always 2020, but between 10:45 and 11, after the dust is settled from the real opening session, then you can find a nice move around there. So just be mindful of that. And there you go. Tesla came back exactly to 351.
It looks like it wants to go lower.
And that's the thing, like I was just going to say, around this time, you need that confirmation. And this is all stuff that I've learned from Eamon, right? And just be patient around it. You need to be patient and really wait for your setups, especially, after the open. If you're looking for something to scalp around these times, you got to be really patient and make sure you get confirmation on the higher time frame. So look for those double bottoms. Like those have been really good for me. If I do take trades around this time, you need to wait for that confirmation, or you just get eaten alive and you'll just continue to strike out. Where do you see Tesla going to?
Tesla has pretty large average true range, somewhere around $12 to $13. So probably 350, maybe even below it. I think someone today asked me, I think it was, someone was on, they were on Discord server. Today, right, somewhere at the open, they mentioned and they said, what do you think about Tesla? Targeting 360. I did mention that this hourly candlestick needs to close above 357. Why is that? Because Tesla is probably going to close lower, headed to 353. That was by 951. We were talking about it somewhere around here. And while it was at 356, I did say that this thing is headed to 353. And now looking at it, 350. Why is that? It did the trap that we were talking about. You see a beautiful level around here. You see Tesla going above this level, and then it's going to the downside. And what happens? Traders who don't pay attention to multiple time frame analysis do not use higher time frames to build the trading. They are just trading like this. You take a look at the chart, you see this, and you're like, okay, we are having a double bottom, or you could say we're having an ABCD. So I'm going to buy it to 357 and hold it to 360. This part around here, which is this part, told me that this thing is headed to 353. Even so, this is noise. And you know, the thing about the 1 minute chart is that it really plays hard tricks on your mind. You see a green candlestick, you feel long biased. You see a red candlestick, you feel short biased. You see a bull flag, you feel long biased. You see a bounce from view up, you feel long biased. You see it breaking below view up, you feel short biased. How can you avoid all this noise on the 1 minute chart? By not reacting to whatever is happening on the 1 minute chart. You build the plan across multiple time frames. You say, I want to play it long or short around this area or below this area. Then you wait for a setup that supports your thesis. Then you execute the trade. That's how you survive all this noise. Yes, it looks good for a long, but it's going against my thesis around here. So I'm going to ignore this long and let it do whatever it wants to do. That's how I end up catching big moves. And you see, just a couple minutes. There is probably some market maker listening to us. See, 350, just literally 3 minutes after we were talking about. And it's not magic or anything. It's literally just looking at charts and building the plan there.
That's why I love seeing one of my favorites. I know it's one of Andrew's too, but it's just been imprinted in my mind. It's the bullish or bearish engulfing on the 5 minute chart. Then you go into the 1 minute and you execute on that. So just be patient and look for that setup. I love seeing that, especially as an opening scalper. The bullish engulfing or the bearish engulfing is usually a really good indicator, especially for my orb trading. If I get a 5 minute opening range breakup with a bullish engulfing candle and it sets up to that, it usually rolls into a nice break and retest as well. So using that bullish engulfing for my trading style is usually pretty good. So I like if Tesla comes up, tests the 9 moving average, and then creates another double bottom at 350. I think that could be interesting, but that's still probably
Yes.
15 minutes away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if it's going to take so much time, but around this area, it could be interesting for a reversal. But that doesn't mean that's going to reverse. There are a lot of things and many steps that need to happen before that reversal forms.
Pat, I'm right there with you guys catching these moves. My only setback is I love the hold winners looking for even more moves. Yeah, I mean, those are demons, not demons, but that's how you have to, you kind of battle yourself with those. But you can, taking those screenshots that we talk about, and you can kind of walk through your thought process later on in the day and just see where you were partialing, where you were thinking about partialing. And that's the power of journaling, really, for me is, when I first started, I was like a hyper scalper. I would just scalp way too much. I'd get in the green and I'd just scalp right away. But when you take those screenshots and you come back and you sit down and just look at them and be like, oh my God, like I left so much money on the table, right? So I know I say it all the time, but give it that time to breathe. If you're risking 15 cents, give it at least that 15 cents or even give it like 20. Feel confident in your trade. If you have good volume, if you have good targets set up, just be patient with it, right? And that's something I like about all the traders in BBT, like Carlos, Peter, Eamon. Like when you hold for at least 2 to 3 hour trades, I mean, the outcome that you get is, I mean, your equity curve is only going to go up. Really, if you're targeting 2 to 3 hour trades all the time, you're doing yourself a good service in doing that. But it's trusting and knowing your system enough that you can hold it for longer than you think that you need to, right? But that just comes with time and doing back testing. So that's why Trading Terminal, I love the replay simulator, right? I put so much time into that, and my style is because I was just scalping too much. And then when I got to the point where I was holding them for, 1 to 1.25 R, that's when, especially my funded accounts, that's when I started to see my equity curve start to go up, is because I was just holding my winners longer. And it's easier said than done. But when you're a new trader, especially when you're just staring at your P&L all the time, you want to bank some money, and I get it, but you're really actually hurting yourself in doing that. So just be careful. This month I have watched too many 2 to 4 arm move back to break even. I mean, if you're one trade, you're getting up 4% of your account and you're not taking anything off. I mean, kudos to you. Everyone trades differently, but for me, if I was up 4% of my account and I didn't take any off, oh my God, that would make me lose sleep, I think. I'm happy because it means I'm in the right area. Yeah, just take a little off. Like, in my opinion, I'm not telling you how to trade, but if you're up 2 to 4% on a trade and then you watch it come back to break even, right? Take a 25 off. If you're up 1 or 2%, take 25% off. Bank a little bit. And then, for me, I move my stop loss to break even at that point. Take a 25% off. If you're up 2% of your whole account size, I mean, that's a freaking good day, because you should be doing, 0.5 to 1% depending on your account size and how long you've been trading. But I mean, I don't know, bit of a rant there, but you obviously know how to trade, Pat. If you're up 2 to 4% and you're still not taking any partials, I don't know. Eamon, what are your thoughts on that, on Pat here?
Sorry, I got distracted while you were ranting on something else. But yeah, can you remind me what the question was? Sorry about that. My fault.
No, you're good. Well, Pat's just saying, like, he's sometimes holds his winners past 2 to 4%. He doesn't take any partials, and then it goes back to his break even.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, Pat, look, I mean,
No,
no, I'm sorry.
Hey, honestly, when I go on rants,
I'll tell you what I
think
was doing. No, it's not your rant. It's not your rant. So I have workers around the house, and they are fixing the entrance into the house, just building a different gate. And my wife was texting me with some changes that she wanted to make. So I was basically reading my
You're a
wife's
construction
messages.
manager.
I was reading my wife's messages that while you were talking around here. So sorry about that. Get distracted. Anyway, Kyle.
You're all good,
Sorry,
buddy.
Pat. Yeah, like I was saying, when I trade, I usually trade based on the concept of predicting the next candlestick. This is literally the core to my whole trading style. And now the real question around here is, what time frame am I playing? Am I playing a daily time frame? Do I know where the daily candlestick is headed today? I have a fixed set of rules to predict the next candlestick. And if I can see that the daily chart meets these rules, and I don't need you to go too detailed the way I do it, just take a look at the daily chart, for example, and tell yourself, does Tesla today looks like a day that is going to close green or going to close red? And I can tell you one thing, based on my rules, nothing. It could close red, it could close green, there is no trend around here. It could make a big move to the downside, fully recover to the upside, could go to the upside, recover to the downside. So anyway, I am not playing a daily candlestick on Tesla. And if I'm not playing a daily candlestick on Tesla, and I am ending up shorting it, for example, around here, my final target on Tesla would have been around 353. The thing that I mentioned on Discord. Because I'm not going to be, I would not have held it to the daily ATR. I know it can make a daily ATR move because I know that can make a $13 move because that is the Tesla's ATR, but I do not know whether that full ATR is going to be made to the downside or to the upside. So if I shorted it there, I would have exited around here. Now, when we were talking about 350, the main reason is that at this stage, it became clear that this thing could head all the way down to 350. So you need to understand what time frame am I playing right now, daily, 60, 15, or 5, and target that specific average true range. Worst case scenario, go for average true range. Don't go past that because the average true range is the statistical edge. It's things that's happening over and over and over. And to answer the pretty bird question, around what time in the market do you switch from 1 minute chart to higher time frames? I add the 15-minute chart after 10 o'clock. And by the way, to answer also, to add a little bit to holding into your wing position, I have a final target, but I do not blindly hold all the way to the final target. For example, Microsoft, when we were during the pre-market, I told you that I'm going to be targeting 513. But you could see I'm not going blindly to 513. I'm partialing all the way up. I know that I'm playing a daily candlestick. I know that the daily ATR could be hit, but I'm already sitting past my 3 hours profit within my first partial around here. I don't want to hold it all the way up here, seeing 6 or 7 or 8 hours in my unrealized, and then this happens simply because it did not give me just a few cents. The fact that I am predicting a daily candlestick means that I'm allowed to hold it longer. If the daily was not looking good, only the 60, I probably would have been all out somewhere around here or maybe somewhere around here.
There you go, Mr. Pat. You heard it from the man himself, the construction manager. Are you getting steel gates put in or what?
Am I getting what?
Like steel gates put in on your front door?
Oh, I'll show you. 1 second. Let me just pull it around here. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly steel gates. This is it. So basically, I hate the gates that are opening in winter. A little bit annoying. Makes sense?
Oh,
So
that's slick. Look at you.
it's like it's
The
like
compound.
it's no, it's the same as the garage doors, right? I
Okay.
mean, but
Yeah.
but they are putting outside because in the past I had these gates that are opening to the side, but I don't like it because it gets frozen. Then I had these ones that are opening like this, but then it's a lot of cleaning every single morning when you need to leave, and I just decided to fix it this way.
You know what you should do? Get a heated concrete. Like you can get the heated concrete
Ah,
floor so it melts the snow.
yeah.
Oh,
You see,
I
that's
I don't
probably
have
something
that.
that
My
needed.
old
Needed to do that
oh
before and building the house. Yeah.
yes, yeah. My old neighbor had that. Oh my God. I was so jealous. Like I'm outside shoveling snow, it's minus 30. He just opens his garage and waves at me and drives away. I'm like, you bastard.
Well, the good thing is that the gas prices in Russia, they're extremely cheap, like extremely cheap. So you could literally just expand it because I have a gas heating, floor gas heating around the whole house, and the bill is really cheap. Whole winter, I think per month I pay around $30 to $40.
Come on. Oh
It's
my
like
God.
heating water, floor heating in the whole rooms, and I never turn it off, and it's on all winters. 30
Oh
forty
my
dollars So that it's cheaper than my internet bill. Honestly, the internet bill is also
Our
cheap. It's like 10
my
bucks.
heating is insane. Like it's called EPCOR. They do electricity, water, all your garbage.
Mhm.
But in the winter months, it's like $500 a month. It's
Holy.
crazy. It's
My
so
whole
expensive.
bill, my whole bill, which is basically uh
I don't want to
the
hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm
I'm
just
sorry,
kidding.
but I'll have to tell you, it's full electricity, internet, heating, and obviously I don't know what it's called, where you pay for service, cutting grass outside the house, garbage, etc. But anyway,
Oh,
this whole
yeah.
bill doesn't reach even 300. It's $200. Yeah, it's an average of $200
A year?
a month.
Oh, holy shit. I was gonna say. Sorry.
No,
God.
no, obviously not a year, but yeah, $200 a month. But it's literally everything fluid: electricity, water, gas, internet, services. So I think it's good.
Conrad, Edmonton is one of the gas capitals of Canada, yes, but we export the majority of it. Which, how does that make sense? I don't know. And Alberta, like we have Fort McMurray, we have one of the biggest oil refineries in the world, like oils, but we just ship it all away. All of it just goes away. It all goes to China. I don't know. Anyways, we won't go there.
They're
Yeah,
saying $200 a month is very cheap for all those utilities. Yeah, it is really cheap. And for a $1 million property, your property tax for the house, is around $700 annually, which is also amazing.
oh my God. I don't want to talk to you anymore. My property taxes a month are $430 on one of
I
my
don't know.
houses. It's like $800. It's $850 for two houses. And that's nothing. That's just to have the house on the land. They don't do a single thing. I'm moving to Russia.
Well,
You need
let me
room?
add free
Do you
healthcare.
have room for three? Yeah,
I
that's
have room
true.
for that. I got it. Yes. Let me add on top of that free healthcare. So all good.
Free
I'm happy.
healthcare
And it's
is
safe.
nice. Yeah. But I mean, you pay for it because of the taxes. Like people always say that Canada has free
Yeah,
healthcare, but our
the
taxes are
13
so
the
high.
13%, right? That we pay
Oh,
on taxes.
nasty. Yeah, unbelievable.
You see, I'm not here to brag, guys, but sorry. I mean, eh, I'm not planning to move anytime soon from here.
I wouldn't. Somebody called out Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab actually did pop up on the Gapper scanner. Rocket Lab started to roll over here at 11:40. I don't know what happened there.
Yep, that is unlucky for Rocket Lab. Oh, is the whole market dumping? Yeah, yeah, there we go. The whole market is just
Holy shit.
sinking down and it's taking everything down with it.
I might take short on the cues here. This is actually turning into a nice. I need another 15 cents on my Top Step account to go short here. Wow. What a session. Pushed all the way to 29,000. What did it get up to? 29,800. Wow. 300 points it just sold off. I might actually go short here. Three,
Shorting
two,
what?
I'm doing it. I just shorted the Qs, 3 contracts. Let's see what happens here.
It's interesting how everything's sinking around here.
Oh,
Pat,
hey.
have a great weekend.
Pat, take care. Do some journaling. Yeah, us Canadians, our property taxes, like Winnipeg, you pay $650 a month in property taxes. Yeah, I mean
That's a lot. I mean,
that's a
isn't it
lot.
like renting something out there? Isn't it cheaper to rent a house or an
Uh,
apartment? Like you say you pay mortgage that costs I don't know how much, and then you pay property tax and all of these utilities, and after all, it feels like renting is cheaper. I mean, you get the
well,
property,
that's
which is a good investment overall.
yeah,
And
and that's
yeah,
that's the long-term goal. Like so both of my houses are it's an upper suite and a basement suite. So I rent the basement suite. It's a 1-bedroom basement suite. We rent it out for $1,400 a month all in. And then the upstairs we rent out for $2,300 all in, but our mortgage is only $1,700. But our property taxes, so we make like $1,100 on that one house. But the house that
well,
we're in
you're still
now,
making something clean on it, right? You're
oh
netting
yeah,
on it. Well,
yeah. And then
that's actually not bad.
and that's the goal, right? And then they pay the mortgage down. We don't live there, but I still go over there and I cut the grass and I shovel for them because it's an elderly couple. But overall, they're paying that mortgage down. So hopefully, eventually, that one's close to being mortgage free. And then that one will cash flow pretty nicely. But it takes time. But I mean, owning property is obviously always something that you want to do. It's just hard. It's getting harder and harder for people to buy houses. Like I bought our last house at the end of COVID, or no, the beginning of COVID for 325,000, and it went up. It's at like 456. So in 3 years, 4 years, it went up 100,000, which is good. But now people are trying to get into the market. We're getting a lot of people from BC moving to Alberta and Ontario because the real estate's so expensive. Like where Andrew lives, a house that I have in Vancouver is like $1.3 million, and it's nothing special. It's just like a standard bungalow, but it's like 4 times the amount. Not 4 times, 3 times the amount. So people are just cashing out there, coming to Alberta, selling all their houses and becoming mortgage free, but they're raising all the prices of the real estate here. Anyways,
No, that's crazy.
yeah. It's good for anyone who owns real estate though, when all these people are
True.
coming in and they're just pushing the rates up. So it's good, but for new people that are trying to buy houses for the first time, it's becoming more and more difficult. I'm still short the cues here. I got a nice little push down here. I'm targeting 29.50 on my contracts here. I've taken one off. Wow, the cues completely rolled over.
Well, that's actually interesting how much they sank. But anyway,
Good.
Martin is asking, is it possible to read your book in PDF? It's not exactly PDF, but if you get Kindle version, it's almost as PDF. The main reason we don't get the PDF version is that I don't want it to be leaked. Eventually, the book is going to be leaked and it's going to be available free anywhere. That's what happens to books. But it's better not to share the PDF version. You can just read it as an ebook. So yeah, guys, we're actually at 12 p.m. Time flies by when you're around, Kyle. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, ayman@bearbulltraders.com, or email kyle@bearbulltraders.com. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll talk to you next
Cheers,
week. See
guys.
ya.
Have a good weekend, everybody.